That was quite fundamental to what many people believe today is the new turn in Indo-Australian equations. But viewers, how the pitch has turned, Siddharth, this evening, hasn't it? How the pitch has turned. You have had in the Liqourgate scam or a Liqourgate scandal, a googly that has been bowled, and this time by the Enforcement Directorate. Thanks indeed, Siddharth, for that. Let's viewers talk a little bit about this. This is the big story of the day. The Liqourgate probe is fast nearing finality. For a while now, the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI has successfully netted the small fish. It has been able to tease out of them, according to their own charge sheets and depositions before courts, certain statements incriminating the big fish. Now it appears the agencies armed with these depositions are intent on going after the big fish. Manish Sisodia has been arrested by the CBI, but today, viewers, just about an hour and a half back, he was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate too, in connection with the alleged Liqourgate scandal. The ED sword is also dangling over the head of South Satrap Kejriwal-Kavitha, who is the scion of the BRS or the TRS, as you want to refer to it, and the daughter of Telangana Chief Minister KCR. The Enforcement Directorate suspects that she was the silent partner in a company that got liquor licenses in exchange for bribes worth crores. The ED has summoned Kavitha on the 11th of March, and she will be asked to answer questions relating to the statements recorded by the agencies that implicate her directly. Now viewers, Kejriwal-Kavitha and the AAP have of course dismissed the agencies for what they think is an elaborate fishing exercise that stems from vendetta. While the jury is out on this one, it isn't as if the BRS or the AAP can claim the moral high ground on this score. There are two hard facts that I would like to bring before viewers tonight. And viewers, you know that hard facts make the basis for every good argument. And I like to bring the hard facts out every night on India Upfront so you can get closer to the truth. The first hard fact is that the Telangana High Court in December last year slammed the Telangana police and the SIT set up by the state government into the infamous MLA poaching case and transferred the case to the CBI. In its order, it made the following scathing observations. And I will quote the court. Having found serious lapses in leakage of investigation material CDs, it is difficult to accept the contention of the learned counsel for the respondents. State that this court should lay off its hands merely because the investigation is at preliminary stage. Rights of the accused to have fair and unbiased investigation are defeated in this case, which is in violation of Article 14 and Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Because the respondents were BJP leaders or those associated with the BJP in this particular matter. And the court says that the SIT was going to do a disservice to them. In clause 43 of the judgment, the court said, in the opinion of this court, constitution of SIT under Government Order number 63, which act under the government, will not alter the situation, more particularly with an authority none other than the Honorable Chief Minister himself has openly circulated the videos and branded the accused and members of the organized crime as conspirators. The entire episode and turn of events is something unprecedented and incomprehensible, and unhesitatingly this court holds that the accused have made out a case for transfer of investigation so far as other points raised by the learned counsel regarding the violation of GO, Government Order number 268, etc., and the investigation by regular police is not permissible under the PC Act, are not considered as the pleadings to that effect in the writ affidavits were very vague. In any event, they are not necessary to be dealt with in the light of the above observations. Now viewers, this tells you that the BRS itself has been pulled up by the courts when they have allegedly gone after their opponents, in this case of course the BJP. Even the AAP, viewers, is not above reproach when it comes to misusing agencies. Here is a headline from the Indian Express that the ecosystem swears by. This is the header of an opinion piece and an article. And it says, and I quote, in Tajinder Bagga episode, remember Tajinder Bagga, viewers, is a member of the BJP, signs that AAP could be slipping into old combative ways. The article's subheader states, and I quote, sources in the AAP admit the Tajinder Bagga episode has cast the AAP in a mold that it had worked hard to emerge out of, unquote. Another article in another news magazine says, and I quote, since the Bhagwant Mann-led AAP government assumed office in Punjab, the state's police have been facing allegations of aiding party politicians and even helping them fix their political opponents, unquote. These are very, very serious perceptorial issues, viewers, that seem to suggest that the AAP and the BRS cannot claim the moral high ground when it comes to vendetta, etc. Now, in specific, viewers, let's look at the cases, or the charges rather, against Sisodia. Here is what the Enforcement Directorate claims. Charge 1, Sisodia used several phones destroying evidence. Charge 2, Sisodia's SIM purchased in name of others. Why would anyone want to be purchasing SIM cards in the name of others? No one knows. Sisodia brought phones in the name of his secretary. Another charge, charge 4, practice by Sisodia destroyed large-scale evidence. Charge 5, phones purchased from e-commerce sites. Charge 6, AAP used scam money to fund the Goa campaign. Charge 7, cash payments of almost rupees 70 lakhs were made. That, viewers, according to the ED, is the money trail. Payments made to volunteers in cash. Charge 9, Vijay Nair received kickbacks of rupees 100 crores on behalf of these big fish in the AAP. This is all that is being alleged by the Enforcement Directorate, and of course it has to of course face judicial scrutiny, and it has to withstand judicial scrutiny. However, AAP Chief Kejriwal has accused central agencies of creating new fake cases every day to ensure that Sisodia stays behind bars. Kejriwal said that since CBI did not find any evidence, an Enforcement Directorate case has been filed ahead of his bail hearing tomorrow, where he would have been released. BJP says his clean chit means nothing. Remember a few days back, viewers, the same AAP government had said that Mr. Sisodia was going in for a long time, for months. So there's a contradiction staring us in the face. Let's just listen in.
मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक गंभीर मामला होता है, लेकिन जिस प्रकार से अपने आप को ईमानदारी का सर्टिफिकेट बांट रहे थे अरविंद केजरीवाल जी मनीष सिसोदिया के लिए, अब क्या कहेंगे? कुछ दिन पहले आप ही कहते थे कि ईडी और सीबीआई ने आपको क्लीन चिट दे दी है। अब जिस प्रकार से गिरफ्तारी हुई है, आपको बहुत सारे सवालों के जवाब देने पड़ेंगे। बहुत गंभीर मामला है। 100 करोड़ की इधर से उधर जो आप लोगों ने मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग की है, उसका जवाब तो आपको देना पड़ेगा। लेकिन अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आपने बोला कि वो कल बाहर आने वाले थे, इसलिए ईडी ने उनको गिरफ्तार किया। आप कानून से ऊपर है क्या?
Viewers, Manish Sisodia has just written an emotional letter from inside jail. Sisodia has slammed his arrest by the ED. It says BJP wants to curb the voice of change. AAP school Rajniti will crush the BJP. This is what Sisodia is saying. It is an open letter to the public, an emotional letter from Tihar prison, where he is alleging that he is being singled out because he's doing a good job, that the AAP is being singled out because, viewers, the AAP poses an existential threat to the BJP. Let me very quickly go across to Priya Behel, who joins me from the newsroom. Priya, just a few highlights from this letter, please. Priya.
Always what has become Aam Aadmi Party's tabulated response in such cases, they play on emotions. Earlier it was the use of children who were writing letters and putting out posters in schools. Now, once again, Manish Sisodia has written in an emotional appeal. He's writing a letter from while he is in judicial custody and now arrested by the ED. He says that as the Delhi Education Minister, I have done a lot of good things for the people, for the children. मेरे मन में बहुत सवाल उठते रहे कि देश और राज्यों की सत्ता तक पहुंचे नेताओं ने देश के बच्चों के लिए स्कूल और कॉलेज का का इंतजाम क्यों नहीं किया? Basically saying that unlike other politicians, I have been working for the children and for their education. आज जब मैं बहुत दिनों से जेल में हूं तो इनके सवाल खुद मिल जाते हैं, is what Manish Sisodia is saying in this letter. He says that it's only because I have been working for the students of Delhi schools, which is why I am being targeted, because the government at the center cannot see somebody performing so well.
Well, this is very interesting, viewers. Of course, the vendetta claim, the vendetta charge being thrown about by the Aam Aadmi Party. This is nothing new. We have been seeing this for months altogether. Let's now focus on the South, viewers, on what the agencies claim was the South lobby, fronted by people who were working clandestinely or at the instigation of Kevitha. Now, viewers, days after the arrest of Hyderabad businessman Arun Pillai, now ED has summoned BRS MLC, the lady on your screens, Kevitha, for interrogation. Telangana's Chief Minister's daughter had initially been summoned today, but she cited prior engagements and sought a week's time. The request was rejected. Now she has been asked to appear on the 11th of March. And this is what she had to say about this.
From last August, in fact from last June, Government of India has constantly been sending its agencies to Telangana. Now question is why? Because Telangana assembly polls are there in this November-December. So the modus operandi of BJP has been कि जहाँ भी इलेक्शन है वहाँ मोदी से पहले ईडी पहुँच जाता है. तो हमारे तेलंगाना में भी यही हुआ है.
Well, that was Kevitha alleging vendetta, but sources tell Times Now that the Enforcement Directorate is planning to confront her with Arun Pillai, a Hyderabad-based businessman and Robin Distilleries promoter who has been arrested by the agency as per ED remand report. He was a front for Telangana Chief Minister's daughter, Kevitha, in the Delhi liquor scam case. According to the Enforcement Directorate, Pillai is also a partner in Indospirit group of Samir Mahindru, who was arrested for his alleged role in the scam. Pillai has a 32.5% stake in Indospirit, which has an L1 license. The ED report stated that Pillai represents Kavitha's business interests in the firm. Now here are some of the details, viewers, and they are on your screens, and they are going to be presented to you by my colleague. Let's listen in.
What exactly is this South group? What are the allegations against Kevitha? We'll discuss all of this. Now, as far as the South group is concerned, the allegation is that they paid a kickback of about 100 crore rupees to the Aam Aadmi Party in the alleged Liqourgate case. As far as Kevitha is concerned, ED says that she was the one controlling this so-called cartel. Now, sources telling us that Kevitha could be confronted with Arun Pillai. Arun Pillai, another big name, Hyderabad-based Arun Pillai was, according to ED sources, a frontman for Kevitha. His name has not cropped up suddenly. Arun Pillai had been questioned by the ED earlier as well, and in that questioning session, far as Arun Pillai is concerned, he had said that he was acting as a front for Kevitha. He met Kevitha inside the Oberoi Hotel. He's attended meetings with her present. Arun Pillai has also alleged that as far as Kevitha is concerned, he was working for her. He also was given some shares of the company Indospirits for the same. He was a frontman for Indospirits working for Kevitha. Now, Kevitha could be questioned or confronted with Arun Pillai also. What's very interesting is to notice the fact that her ex-auditor Butchi Babu Goranthala has also been recently netted and arrested by the agencies. Butchi Babu Goranthala, his WhatsApp chats had surfaced where the court said that only his role is being mentioned in those chats, but the fact that he was working so closely with Kevitha, the fact that he was her ex-auditor, could increase troubles for Kevitha. In conclusion, big development in the case because Kevitha is the biggest political name as far as the so-called South group in this entire Delhi Liqourgate or the excise policy case is concerned.
So are we seeing now, viewers, this Liqourgate probe nearing finality? And is the case robust enough? Let's open this up, and I want to go straight across to Krishank, spokesperson of the BRS. There's Sanjay Jha, an author. also, of course, a member of the Congress, suspended, but Ravi Srivastava, political analyst and AAP sympathizer who believes that the agencies are on a big witch hunt. Let me first begin with you, though, and I want to bring in Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. The charge is very simple, Sanju Verma, that this is all vendetta, that these are emerging parties who pose a threat to you either in the south or in the north. There are growing parties, and you want to stifle the winds of change. How do you respond to this?
You know, if desperation and hypocrisy had a name, then Kavitha surely would have won hands down. I just want to put out a couple of facts, though your team has done a commendable job in laying down the groundwork of the debate with those hard facts. Let's be very clear that in any case, you know, and you have, I think, Ishkaran on the panel, and I'm sure he'll corroborate to this. It is the testimony of the witnesses which is paramount, even if the said witnesses are accused in the case themselves. Let's not forget that we have a formal approver in this case, a man called Dinesh Arora, who indicted Manish Sisodia, and at that time there was a brouhaha that, you know, Manish Sisodia ko to kabhi CBI chhu hi nahi paegi. Now that his custody has been extended twice, the same people have fallen silent and those vendetta rumors have flown out of the window. Coming to the South group, you know, Rahul, let's be very clear that the ED initially contacted Kavitha on 11th November 2022. And Kavitha then said that she was incapacitated and could not bring herself to be questioned by the ED or the CBI, because do note that this case is being probed by both the ED and the CBI before other panelists say, oh, but the ED is, you know, the ED's, pardon me, success rate is just 0.5%. So for your benefit, let me tell you, the CBI success rate is 69.83%, if that is any respite for you. The fact is that then the ED and CBI chose to stay off for a while. She was then again questioned in her house at Banjara Hills on the 11th of December 2022 because again, she said that she's unwell. So for her to claim that she's being, you know, demonized or there's a witch hunt, I think the ED and the CBI have been very gracious. Tell me how many times, you know, does an ordinary person who's accused gets the privilege of being interrogated at his or her residence? But Kavitha was given that privilege. And I also want to tell one more thing. Today, before coming to your debate, I read up some sections of the CRPC. You know, section 41, 43, 47, 51, 53, 57. These are the relevant sections with respect to how a woman can be interrogated, arrested, and, you know, under what circumstances she can be questioned. And nowhere in any of these sections it is mentioned that the ED and the CBI cannot interrogate a woman politician, because Kavitha has claimed it is her fundamental right to not be questioned by the ED. I mean, that is so tragic, had it not been so funny. And I'll tell you just very quickly, that in any crime, it is the money trail, which is important, and it is the proceeds of crime. And your team has said what the ED has filed in its charge sheet. Vijay Nair, a close confidant of Manish Sisodia, received 100 crore as kickbacks and payoffs, and this 100 crore was shared between whom? Rahul, 10 seconds. This 100 crore was shared between various members of the South group, particularly Arun Ramchandra Pillai, who acted as a front man of Kavitha. It was also shared by a gentleman called Abhishek Boinpalli, who you know is the son of Boinpalli Hanuman Rao, who is one of the founder members of TRS. And this money was also shared by Bacchi Babu, who is the ex-chartered accountant of Kavitha. So all fingers point to Kavitha.
So you're saying watertight case, not a witch hunt. It's a watertight case, not a witch hunt. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Krishank. Mr. Krishank, who joins us, BRS representative here, spokesperson. Mr. Krishank, look, there is a statement by Mr. Pillai, and if you want, I can read it. This was recorded on the 11th of November 2022, so, you know, about 5 months back. I'm sure you are well versed with what the statement is, but let me very quickly, for the benefit of our viewers, repeat it. Quote, there was a deal understanding between K. Kavitha, MLC, Telangana and the AAP, wherein in exchange of kickbacks paid to the tune of rupees 100 crores, Ms. Kavitha got access to the Delhi liquor business, specifically states in L1, i.e. Indo Spirits. So she got these stakes in this company. That he represented Ms. Kavitha in the firm Indo Spirit. He became a partner on her behalf. Further, he arranged the funds for the investment that was required on paper to become partner. That he attended a meeting at Oberoi Maidens along with Ms. K. Kavitha, Shri Vijay Nair, Dinesh Arora. Since he was aware of the agenda of the meeting and had overheard the conversation, he has stated in this meeting the recovery of the kickbacks paid was discussed. That he is a close friend of Ms. K. Kavitha for a long time. So this is the statement. But there are other fascinating facts. The ED has talked about the large-scale destruction of evidence to impede the investigation and erase the involvement of the accused. Now, K. Kavitha is mentioned under number 32 in that list. Two of your numbers have been cited. So at these two places her numbers have been cited. The handset IMEI of one number has been changed 6 times in 4 months. 6 times. The handset IMEI of another number has been changed 4 times in less than a year. If this is true, why would you want to keep changing your phone? Number 2, is it just a coincidence that many who are under the scanner in this matter are known to have either destroyed or changed their phones and their numbers?
Okay, Rahul. So first, regarding the phones, Kavitha ji has made it very clear that as the claim which ED in their charge sheet is mentioning, that they have been destroyed, they are not destroyed, and she is ready to produce them. Point 1. Point 2, I'm glad Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson did some Googling out over a few sections, but I should tell them that when CBI visited Kavitha ji's residence last December, she was not accused. She was a witness to the case. So she was not an accused, and till date also they haven't put her as an accused. And even then, we are continuing to cooperate. We are not like BL Santosh to rush to any honorable court that we do not want any investigation. We don't want to face any sit inquiry. We're not like that. We are definitely cooperating with it. And let me make it clear that be it Arun Pillai or Dinesh Arora or whosoever, we do not have any kind of business relationships, and we will continue to face any investigation, be it ED, IT, CBI, or there are a few more, right? There are RBI, there are SEBI, which doesn't go near Adani ji. If they want to send even SEBI, ready for that. But why this cherry picking, Rahul? Why this cherry picking? See, I'm not talking about the old stories of Mukul Roy, Narayan Rane, Himanta Biswa Sharma. These are all old names. I have a few names, There is this tweet of the ED. The tweet of the Enforcement Directorate itself in 2018, which has mentioned that 6,000 crores of more than 120 shell companies controlled by Sri Y. Sujana Chaudhary, who is currently in Bharatiya Janata Party. Has ED or IT or CBI arrested him? Or to the matter of fact, one straight question, Rahul. One name of any BJP leader, including Ishwarappa, who has resigned as minister after the Contractors Association have written to President of India, or any leader of BJP who was arrested by any investigative agency. Why only Sanjay Raut or any other opposition party, or even as they are claiming us? When we are ready to cooperate for the investigation, when we are answering their questions, why this vendetta? That is why we are using the word vendetta. Entire nation, there are so many graft charges on BJP leaders, but no single arrest, including this man, Y. Sujana Chaudhary.
No, but that's fine. We have brought these facts out, Mr. Krishank. It is perhaps fitting to once again remind viewers that the actions by the ED certainly raise eyebrows, because there are many people who find them to be selective. But having said that, Mr. Krishank, I want to get into the specifics. Yes, okay, maybe some people are getting an easier ride, and that is very condemnable. And if that is true, the people involved in giving them that easier ride should be prosecuted, jailed immediately. No doubt about that, and I buy your point. But still, one second. Let me come back to you, Mr. Krishank, because I want to ask you,
Yeah.
how do you explain this statement that has been recorded by Mr. Pillai, who has put Ms. Kavitha in the center of a 100 crore kickback scandal? And number two, this is very important, Samir Mahendru has also come out and made certain allegations. Now, he says that K. Kavitha had spoken to Samir Mahendru over FaceTime and congratulated him for the Delhi business and expressed her interest in partnering in this business. And I have the entire excerpt here. It's right here in front of me. If you want, I can read out.
No, I've read those. I've read those, Rahul.
Okay, now, now it is also pertinent to mention that your leader, that in a meeting with Samir Mahendru in early 2022 had said that Arun Pillai was like family. So somebody is either lying, and why would these people be wanting to frame themselves?
Well, the question is, are they friends? If they're friends, is it a crime? If they are family, is it a crime? Or is there a money trail which the ED has to see? If that 100 crores has come into the account of Kavitha ji or gone from the account of the Kavitha ji. That is the major offense which we have to see. Because if having pictures, like many people, if having pictures with Arun Pillai is a crime, then here is Tejasvi Surya's picture with Arun Pillai too. Here. So it is not about knowing or not knowing. The point is that if there is an offense, if there is a money trial which the ED has to see, let them establish. The merits of the case has to be decided by the Honorable Court of Law, which we are ready to face.
Yes,
but why jump the gun?
That's fine. That's fine. On the 3rd of October 2022, this is Mr. Dinesh Arora. He is the sole approver in the case filed by the CBI.
Yeah.
And he says he met Ms. K. Kavitha twice. Agenda for the meeting that took place at Oberoi Maidans, Delhi, wherein Shri Dinesh, Shri Vijay Nair, Shri Arun Pillai and Ms. K. Kavitha were present, was to discuss Delhi liquor business and the issue of recovery of advance kickbacks paid to Mr. Vijay Nair. So here you have talk of money. You have a money trail.
Rahul, I have a straight answer for that. You have a advocate, I believe, in your panel also. Let me remind that the BJP spokesperson missed out one important section. That is the section of 306 CRPC. The case reference is Ram Narayan versus State of Bihar. That approver's evidence alone is not a reliable evidence.
I want to answer that.
So he is an approver. He will tomorrow say there is Uddhav Thackeray also in this. There is Farooq Abdullah ji also in this. There is some Congress leader also in this.
Rahul.
That doesn't prove it. That doesn't. Let them prove. Let the approvers who have given out names out of pressure or coercion of the investigative agencies, let them prove them. They will name whosoever it is. Our statement is we do not have any kind of business relationship in this whole policy or deal or whatsoever it is.
Okay, but there is a money trail and it has been put out and there is a flow chart and I have it right here in front of me and it's quite elaborate. So now obviously all of this, as the BRS spokesperson is very clearly saying, are allegations. Sanju Verma, I also want to remind the BRS that while you can talk about vendetta, the courts themselves have pulled you up. While you have gone up in appeal against that High Court order about how you have misused your own agencies to go after others in your opponents, etc., it doesn't absolve you or allow you to claim a moral high ground, Mr. Krishank. Very quick response to this. Very quick.
No, have they said there is no investigation? They said no sit, go for CBI, but they didn't give a clean chit, right, Rahul?
No, that I'm not saying that they have given. I have made that very clear. The matter is still pending, but they have passed some very scathing observations. So, would you admit that fine, BJP also acts in vendetta, but so do you?
See, well, we didn't invite the whoever antics or those dramatics who have done those Swamijis.
It doesn't matter, sir. The charge the court made against you was that you acted in an unfair manner to prejudice the case against these individuals. Krishank.
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's any judgment.
Then why would
on that.
of course there is. Should I read it out to you? Let me read it out to you. I had read it at the beginning of the show. I can read it out again. I come very well prepared, sir. Now, I agree that you have gone up in appeal, but should I read it out to you? I can easily read it out to you. This is what it says.
Please do. Yes, we've gone up for an appeal too.
Yeah, that's okay. Having found serious lapses and leakage of investigation material, it is difficult to accept the contention of the learned counsel for the respondents. The state that this court should lay off its hands merely because the investigation is preliminary stage. You told the court, stay away. Investigation is preliminary stage. But what does the court say? Rights of the accused to have fair and unbiased investigation are defeated in this case, which is in violation of Articles 14 and 21 of the Constitution. It also goes on to say that the Chief Minister of the state, he is named. The Honorable Chief Minister himself has openly circulated the videos and branded the accused and members of the organized crime as conspirators. The entire episode and turnout of events is something unprecedented and incomprehensible. And unhesitatingly, this court holds that the accused have made out a case of transfer of investigation. So this is not some virtue. The court has been forced to accept the plea of the accused and transfer this because it doesn't trust you. So
Rahul, I will not disagree to the fact that Honorable Chief Minister has openly kept a press meet and we have released it to every media institution because there
to slander the name,
how Bharatiya Janata
to condemn
Party,
people.
How Bharatiya Janata Party. Absolutely, there should be a debate.
So you're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. That is then why do you have courts?
We've sent it to all the courts and all the media heads also.
But that is what is being objected to as an exercise in coloring, sir, the entire issue, prejudging it. Krishank Saab, that is what I'm saying. You are guilty of this. The courts have the courts have said it, sir. I've read it out to you, please. This is, you can also read it, clause 43. Please read clause 43. It's on record.
Those are remarks of the court. Those are remarks of the court.
They are recorded, sir. This is part of the order.
We didn't use our agencies to go grab BL Santoshji and bring him here.
Sir, this is a written order. This is a written order. You're being caught out on this, Mr. Krishank. You're being caught out on this. Accept it and say, okay, ठीक है, हमने भी थोड़ा बहुत कर दिया. क्या problem है? I mean, you know.
पर कविता जी ने investigation से भागा नहीं ना.
That doesn't matter. That's an academic question. That's an academic rhetorical response. ठीक है, नहीं भागा, अच्छा है, salute करते हैं. Good. She should go to the ED.
CBI को मिला.
Fair enough. Dr. Ranganathan, I just want to bring in 1 second. I've had the BJP and the BRS. Sanju Verma, just bringing you into this as a quick response. But I also want to ask you, Sanju Verma, on this Chaudhary issue. The Chaudhary issue now, and also the Karnataka MLA issue. You know the two issues I'm talking about. The Karnataka MLA has to surrender now. And you guys made such a big virtue of it. And you have the Chaudhary issue. Both aapne nazarandaz kar diya, madam. Ye kya chakkar hai?
Rahul, very quickly, without being verbose, let me first say that, as far as K. Ishwarappa is concerned, last year, I remember Santosh Patil, the contractor, when he committed suicide, he named K. Ishwarappa. He was forced to resign as the Panchayat Raj Minister. There is a case where a trial is being undertaken. So K. Ishwarappa has not been allowed to walk away scot-free. But the very people who are talking about K. Ishwarappa, I have never seen anyone ask why D.K. Shivakumar, who was caught with Benami property documents and cash and gold worth 700 crores in 2018. He continues to be the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee chief. Okay. I don't see anybody lamenting about that.
That doesn't matter. That's not the answer. Then now you're sounding like the BRS.
Let me finish. Rahul, please. You allowed me 30 seconds. Let me finish.
Mr. Chaudhary, answer about that.
Has been talking. Rahul, let me
MLA arrested by Lokayukta. Answer about those two.
This man from DRS has been talking about DL.
Fair enough. He's entitled to talk. I'm asking you two specific questions, Verma. Sanju Verma, please. Two specific questions, please.
Rahul, you cannot have allegations leveled at the BJP and not even give me a chance.
These are not allegations. These allegations have been leveled by GVL Narasimha Rao, a member of parliament from the BJP, against Mr. Chaudhary. And the enforcement directorate has tweeted.
Can I finish?
These are not allegations. This is what I'm not cooking this up. Enforcement Directorate has tweeted to this effect, madam.
I am aware of it, but let me finish, Rahul. Don't jump the gun.
Not jumping anything.
I just want to say one very important thing here. The name of BL Santosh popped up twice by the BRS panelists, and I have to remind him that you tried your level best to nail BL Santosh. BL Santosh was given a clean chit by the Telangana High Court, not somebody sitting in Delhi. Now, are you saying
that was an issue with BL Santosh? Fair enough. Please answer about GVL Narasimha Rao, who called Chaudhary and Ramesh Andhra Malyas and wrote to the Rajya Sabha Ethics Committee. Today those people are sitting in your party, and the Enforcement Directorate had accused him of a massive scam, and that case has gone cold. Why?
They will not be spared.
That will not be spared. Okay, so we are going to wait for Godot. Okay, sometime in the future they will not be spared. Aaj ki baat karte. Okay, 1 minute.
BRS man to talk about Sujat Chaudhary and Kavitha.
Well, I hope he doesn't leave the BJP. Don't take him back. Other parties don't take him back. He'll be in the jail. वो बात की बात है. No. Action should happen now. There should be immediate action by the ED on also Mr. Chaudhary. He should be summoned. He should be summoned at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, kept up, booked. No, that doesn't work. I agree.
The leader who's been accused by the BJP has been also not declared innocent by the court.
That's fine. But why is he in your party? Why did you take him into your party? You want to take in all the people that you accused of being Malyas? Why did you take him into your party? Why did the BJP take him into... Madam, that's fine. Why did the BJP take Mr. Chaudhary in?
Have you, Rahul, questioned why DK Shivkumar is not being arrested?
Ma'am, we are the ones who broke the story on DK Shivkumar. The reason that he's so upset with Times Now is because we exposed him. So don't tell me this. I'm only asking you a very simple, straightforward question about Mr. Chaudhary.
Anyhow, if it is a BJP person who's accused, the law will...
Viewers, on this channel, I expose hypocrisy. I've exposed the BRS's hypocrisy, and I'm also now exposing the BJP's hypocrisy. But that doesn't still take away from the Liqourgate investigation. All this might be true. The hypocrites that everyone is might be true. Others are guilty might be true. But that still doesn't take away from this particular case, Dr. Ranganathan. It doesn't take away from the questions that are being asked of the AAP and the BRS. These are two parties who have national ambitions. Have they been damaged? Have they let the side down?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. I've been waiting since 35 minutes, so can I please request the courtesy of a couple of minutes of uninterrupted time? There are three issues here as I see it. Rahul, number one, I'm afraid the BRS is fast overtaking the Congress as far as the number of gates are associated with it. I don't know whether you noticed this. Of course, Liqourgate is one, but there are two other gates that are currently being investigated as far as BRS is concerned. One of them is, of course, as I said, Liqourgate. The other one is the Poach Gate. And the third one is the Driver Gate. Now, let me expand a little bit on the Poach Gate. The BRS chief, Mr. Rao, said we have no confidence in the CBI. They approached the High Court to squash the Poach Gate investigation and take it away from the CBI. The High Court said nothing doing. So that CBI investigation on the Poach Gate, which involves the poaching of the TRS MLAs, is still going on. Before that, exactly almost to the date 2 years ago, Rahul, there was the Driver Gate where, I don't know what it is with BRS and CBI and Kavithas, that at the house of BRS now, BRS MLA Kavitha, Miss Kavitha, of course she was Miss M Kavitha, 3 people were arrested, caught red-handed by the CBI taking a bribe. The BRS, created a lot of hue and cry saying that the CBI, I don't know whether you know of this. Of course, I think in fact, you broke this story 2 years ago, Rahul. And this Driver Gate is still going on. So there are so many gates, one might be confused as to which gate right now is being pursued. And second issue which I want to come here is, I remember on your show, Rahul, my good friend Sanjay Jha said, look, why are we faulting a policy? The Liqourgate is not a gate, it is a liquor policy, and the policy cannot be faulted. I'm sure today my good friend Sanjay would apologize, because if at the back of tweaking a policy is a give and take of 100 crores, then obviously the policy has to be investigated as to how many people and who many people are involved in tweaking that policy. It is not just enough to say that because it is a government policy, there can be no crime associated with it, number 2. And number 3, I think, Rahul, honestly, the time has come for common citizens to stand up for the CBI sleuth's investigative agent. It's very demoralizing, believe me. And I'll explain to you why. You know, these are people who are highly articulate, highly educated. They pass one of the world's toughest exams to become the CBI officers. And for them to be called as caged parrots by the court, by everyone, by me, by everyone, is a real taint. And my heart bleeds. These are honest officers. You already know the conviction rate of CBI is 70%. How would it feel if an honest officer is tainted just because the government is making... And of course, you gave the data, Rahul. It's absolutely true. In the last 8 years, 95% of the cases that CBI has handled are of the opposition leaders. So obviously, they remain caged parrots. It is disgusting, but it is the fact. What BRS spokesperson said is true about Mr. Chaudhary. I have talked about it for 2 years. So we have to come out of this morass. Every state government, the moment its party or its party worker investigated by CBI says, oh, I have no faith in CBI. It is a blotch on the honest CBI officer whom we should all respect. You gave the example, Rahul, just 2 minutes ago before I came on. You took objection when there was an accusation that you were being selective, you didn't expose a scam. You said, no, I did. Imagine a CBI officer in your shoes. How would he feel if people accused him of selectivity? Nobody likes being called a caged parrot. So today, as common citizens, we must stand up for the CBI. We must demand the independence be given to the CBI. It is horrible that the Congress controls the CBI, and it is equally horrible that the BJP is also controlling it. We are, as citizens, we should be fed up of this.
Okay, well, point well taken, obviously, but Sanjay Jha, today, you might be caged by hypocrisy also. And I'm going to now ask you to condemn this statement by Mr. Ajay Maken. Mr. Maken, a few days ago, especially when Mr. Sisodia was arrested, this is what he said. It has now been established that the AAP got around 100 crores. This money was used by AAP against the Congress in Goa elections. So I'm telling everyone who is sympathizing with Sisodia that this corruption money is being used to weaken the Congress party, unquote. Now, Sanjay Jha, this flies in the face of what the BRS says, that this is a witch hunt. In fact, on the issue of witch hunt, let me tell you what Mr. Maken said. Asked about the argument by Congress leaders supporting Sisodia that the ED, CBI and income tax departments have become instruments of political vendetta and harassment, Maken said he would urge the central government to use these agencies sparingly, quote him, so that genuine action in cases like against Sisodia are not seen as a witch hunt. So इसे अगर थोड़ा कम इस्तेमाल करते तो आज सिसोडिया अंदर होता. Without question. Now, Sanjay Jha, the central government has been using investigative agencies very often against their political opponents for witch hunting. So when a case like this comes up, which is a clear-cut case of corruption, it is seen as vendetta. Many people think it is political vendetta. So my appeal to the central government is to use these agencies sparingly and not for political vendetta. So such clear-cut, genuine cases of corruption arise, action is not seen. So, I mean, he believes that this is a clear-cut, genuine case of corruption, Sanjay Jha. Is Mr. Maken talking out of the top of his hat? Has he lost his mind? Or is he changing parties and joining the BJP? What is going on here?
Rahul, a short point. And this is what should worry us all.
I hope it's not a silly point. It needs to be a short point, but you need to answer this. Cricket is invading today. From Mr. Modi to Albanese, now you are using short point. Now just let's get to the, I want you to answer the Maken question, please. Forget about everything else. Maken is saying that this entire scam, the proceeds of crime, 100 crores, he's saying and not me, have been used against the Congress. Okay, to weaken the Congress, defeat it in Goa. Sanjay Jha, is he talking through his hat? Should he be sued by the Aam Aadmi Party? Should he be sued for defamation?
Sanjay Jha. You are asking, 1 minute. So now I'll answer your question, but hear me out. So this is the crucial missing element of today's conversation. And let me quote to you the court. On November 11, 2022, which is not long ago, a special court granted bail to Sanjay Raut and said, and this is what the court said, Sanjay Raut was arrested for no reason and the arrest was illegal. This is the destruction of institutions.
But in this particular case, sir, Mr. Sisodia has been, he's had one already bail application come up, which was rejected, and he was further put in jail. Tomorrow his matter will come up again. Now the EDs. That doesn't answer the question.
Yes or no?
Answer the Markan charge. Markan says, your party, top boss, Markan says, Delhi boss, great guy, stands next to Rahul Gandhi, walks with him, runs with him, jogs with him, exercises with him, supports him. I'm asking you, Markan says Sisodia is guilty, and Sanjay Jha, are you going to tell me that Markan is talking through his
Okay, Rahul. Rahul, let's have a level playing field.
This is very level.
Anand Ranganathan started by telling you that I have been quiet for 35 minutes, do not interrupt me, and you did not interrupt him, right? So now let me...
No, one second. Sanju Verma, let Sanjay Jha speak.
Yeah.
Let's not get our names confused.
Yeah,
Sanjay
absolutely.
Jha.
So now let me speak without interruption. Anand Ranganathan cannot have a different yardstick and I can't have a different one. So now let me make my point.
Come on, Sanjay.
Sir, you take a mile. You take a mile. Forget about yards. Answer the question on Markan. Why does Markan say Sisodia is guilty? It's an open and shut case of corruption. Can you please respond?
I'm answering your question.
Anand, not Ajay.
How many income tax and CBI raids have been done on the 40% commission government which the Karnataka government of the PPP?
Sir, again you're going to Karnataka. Let's come back. Sanjay Jha, everyone else has talked about these issues.
I'm answering your question.
I'm on your side. I'm only asking you about Markan. Tell me, why does Markan say, and I quote him, it has been established that the AAP got around 100 crore. This money was used by AAP against the Congress in Goa elections. Is he making a laughing stock of himself? Is he, as the BJP believes, tilting at windmills like Rahul Gandhi does? Or is he speaking the truth? I'm asking you this question, Sanjay Jha.
Well, I'm answering you, and I made my 2 points that were very relevant to this conversation. The destroyed institutions under Modi, and of course the Karnataka corruption model, which is now a talking point all over India. And now let me answer your question. Ajay Markan believes, and he is, by the way, a seasoned politician, he believes that there is a lot to it than meets the eye. And he has got every right as a politician to say...
So you are saying that Sisodia has something to answer for, and in this particular case, this is not a witch hunt.
He is saying, what is he saying? Investigate in a transparent fashion.
No, he's not saying that. He is saying, no, he's not saying that. Now, you know, listen, Sanjay Jha, you're a very smart guy. You're a very intelligent man, writer of books, a man of letters. Now, I'm presenting letters to you. And these are the letters. Quote, it has now been established that the Aam Aadmi Party got around 100 crores. This money was used by AAP against the Congress in Goa elections. So I'm telling everyone who is sympathizing with Sisodia that this corruption money is being used to weaken the Congress party, unquote. Now, these are letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Well, about 45 letters have been used. Now, I want you to answer, are these letters bunkum, Sanjay Jha, or is Sisodia guilty, and therefore, is the ED on the right track?
Well, Rahul, you are asking me about ED and CBI when I have not a single document and I am not the investigating agency. But the credibility is destroyed, and that is a tragedy for all of us on the panel today.
Okay. Now, another bit of hypocrisy that I want to expose, and I want to bring in Ishkan Bhandari. So the ED and the CBI are to be believed when they go after Sisodia, says Markan. Sanjay Jha, of course, will not talk about against Markan. He will make excuses for Markan because he has a great association with Markan. Now, how can he go against? That's why I picked Markan, Sanjay Jha ji. Your old friends.
But what has he said which is wrong?
Okay, so Sisodia is guilty. So why are we having this debate? If he's guilty, even the Congress believes he's guilty, everyone believes it. So it's not clearly a witch hunt.
Rahul, you have to establish it. For God's sake, come on. We are all grown-up adults here.
Okay, now my point is, if the ED, Ishkaran Bhandari, if the ED is above board, 1 second, Ishkaran Bhandari, this is an important question. If the ED is on the right track, sniffing out a scam against Mr. Sisodia and the 100 crores, this is all allegations as I am concerned, but not for the Congress, this is a gospel for the Congress, then why shouldn't it be true of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi in the Herald case?
Rahul, I will come to all of that, but one thing as I was hearing it, and a common man must be feeling, the figures we talk about so casually, 100 crores in one case, 700 crores in another case, 6,000 crores in another case. One thing is very
clear. And in Adani's case, 15 lakh crores.
No matter how in talk, Sanjay, I didn't interrupt you. I'm speaking last. Please keep quiet and let me speak. When you had to speak on Ajay Maken, you couldn't speak. Cat got your tongue. Why? Because it was Ajay Maken who has given letters after letters that you don't want to read. So please let me speak now. Don't interrupt me. Please let me speak. Don't interrupt me. One thing is very clear, Rahul. No matter how intoxicating alcohol is, nothing is as intoxicating as power and money which is being looted in this country. Irrespective of whichever side you are in, as a citizen, as a taxpayer, that should shame us all because it is not being corrected. Now let us come to the case at hand. It is very clear that there are various allegations and those allegations are being supported by the principal opposition party in this country, that is the Congress, from a very high source, that is Mr. Ajay Maken, as much as Mr. Jha may want to deny that. So that is one point in it. But what is the allegations about? There is an alleged 100 crore money trail. That won't disappear. Forget bail hearing. The ED, the CBI will have to prove it in court. 100 crores will not disappear. There are allegations that phones, I read someplace worth 1 crore having been destroyed. Phones worth 1 crore. I read the figure 3 times to believe that is true or not. At least media is reporting that. So that also will be proved in the court. That will not be something which can be brushed under the carpet, and that is not an ordinary course. And one more thing which is happening in this case, if the policy is so good, once the policy came under scanner and there was no corruption, you would want the policy to continue to show to the people, see, हम अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं और हमारी policy हमें बदलवाई जा रही है किसी माफिया को support करने के लिए. But when you withdraw the policy yourself, that also raises the question. Lastly, of course, a prover testimony is not sufficient to convict solely. There needs to be corroboration. But it is not every day that an approver comes forward. So that has its significance value in the court itself. He's a competent witness. And lastly, a party which came against corruption, India against corruption, because there was that much anger against corruption. That is why I say power is so intoxicating. 2 of its ministers are in jail.
So Ravi Srivastava, this is an image problem now. This party that represented change is looking like just about any other. And the people who are saying it, not Rahul Shivshankar, you don't trust me, but let me read out editorial comments by people that you read as if they're writing the gospel truth. If you want, I can elaborate on that. But would you like to answer? Everyone is saying that the AAP has lost it. Sagarika Ghosh, for example, one of those people that you are very influenced by, has written this.
Rahul, stop it.
No, I won't stop it tonight, because you see, I like this. Calling out hypocrisy on a nightly basis is interesting. Because somewhere, viewers, by doing so on both sides, I come closest to the truth. And the truth matters. If not to any of these politicians, it matters to us, the public. So Ravi Srivastava, now you need to answer.
True.
Credibility is sunk in the vat of liquor.
Absolutely not. Rather, it has enhanced further.
Enhanced.
You watch it, you keep watching. Everything is happening on the predictable lines. Everything scripted. You don't allow the bail to be given by CBI. You arrest before that. Keep another 14 days in the ED custody. After that, in the judicial custody. The show goes on. There is nothing to worry.
So when the court said something about Sanjay Raut, that Sanjay Jha talks about,
I want to talk about
Yes.
what about that?
Exactly. And once the case goes to court, it will fall flat like a pack
Once
of cards.
it goes. Okay.
I can predict it right from here.
Okay. Sir.
Rahul,
Yes, doctor. Doctor, yes, final comments. Final comments,
Rahul,
doctor.
can I quickly comment on the Sanjay Raut bill?
Rahul, these are...
Sanjay Raut, I'll give you an opportunity, Sanjay.
Srivastava ji.
Yeah.
Yes, Rahul Srivastava ji is a very good friend, very dear friend, but I'm afraid his comments are absolutely shocking, and all I have to say is that if Sanjay Jha is a man of letters, Srivastava ji has shown himself to be a man of litters.
Okay, Sanju Verma, very quick response to Sanjay Jha.
Rahul, Rahul, let me now, with no offense to none, you are very quick to fact check the BJP, and I welcome that. But Sanjay Jha sat here and lied about the Bombay High Court giving a clean chit to Sanjay Raut. This is a judgment of the Bombay High Court. I'm reading out 2 lines. Dated 18th February 2023, very recently, not the November 2022 judgment which Sanjay Jha read out. In that, the Bombay High Court Justice N.R. Borkar said to the CBI and the ED, why don't you ask for the police custody of Sanjay Raut? You ask for his judicial custody. If you ask for his police custody, you can continue to keep the accused as an under trial prisoner and interrogate him. I have given him bail pending police custody sought by you. So Sanjay Raut has not been given a clean chit.
Okay.
The ED is going to ask for his police custody. Sanjay Jha, please learn to read before you come on debate.
Okay,
And
Sanju
clap for
Verma,
Sanjay
fact
Raut.
check Sanjay Jha live on the India Front debate. Anyhow, viewers, look, the point is, no, 1 second, this vat of corruption, this vat, okay, 1 second, please, Sanjay Jha, let me just wrap out.
So don't say she's fact checked me. I have read out the report of the special court.
Judgment of 18th February 2023. I challenge you to tell me that I'm wrong.
Okay, lower everyone's faders, I need to move on, viewers. Look, I don't know about the vat of corruption, but a lot of people are drowning in the vat of hypocrisy tonight. Now, the point is that the ED has put down certain facts that it believes. I'm not saying these are facts. As for where I'm concerned, they're facts. They have put down certain facts that they believe will add up to a conviction. Because the matter will be presented to the courts sooner than later. In fact, it is already before the courts. And we will know in a short while if the case actually added up. And if it does, viewers, there are going to be consequences for the way politics will play out before the 2024 elections. I need to move on because, viewers, for 11 days, it's a very tragic story. 11 days, the widows of Pulwama martyrs are fighting for the due they deserve. They have been humiliated, pushed around, manhandled in full public glare by the men donning khaki, but that hasn't dented their spirit to fight back. What is appalling is that the man sitting on the top post in Rajasthan doesn't even for a minute address the demands of the Veer Naris. The demands of the widows are branded unjustified by Ashok Gehlot, despite his Mantri giving assurances on camera 2 days ago that the demands will be fulfilled. In an unsparing attack, the widow of slain soldier Rohitash Lamba slammed the Chief Minister left, right and centre for avoiding them and hiding behind his post. Listen in, viewers.
मंजू जी, आज मुख्यमंत्री आवास की तरफ आपने कूच करा, आपको रोक लिया गया। आपको लगता है कि ऐसा करना उचित रहेगा क्योंकि आप वीरांगना हैं?
मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से एक वादा कर रही हूँ, मैं भी वीरांगना हूँ कि हमारे असल माँ का बेटा है मुख्यमंत्री, तो हमारे सामने आके देखो, मुख्यमंत्री असली माँ का बेटा है तो, अरे हम असल शेर नहीं, लेकिन वो गिद्दड़ है, ये छुप का बेटा है, लेकिन सरकार शेर नहीं चलती है ना, तो शेर ने शिकार करना पड़ता है।
सरकार का ये कहना है कि यदि आप देवर को नौकरी कराओगे, आपके बच्चों की नौकरी है, आपकी नौकरी है।
अरे उनसे क्या मतलब है, हमारा पति की नौकरी किसी को भी दिलाए, उनसे क्या मतलब है?
Viewers, this is of course not the first time that there has been insensitivity directed towards those that lost their lives, sacrificed their lives for the nation in Pulwama. Recently, Rahul Gandhi at Cambridge refrained from calling the Pulwama incident and terror attack sponsored by Pakistan. Instead, he said 40 soldiers were killed in a car bomb. Listen to this.
In fact, that picture there is me putting flowers on the spot where almost 40 soldiers were killed by a car bomb some years back. So we arrive in Kashmir, and Kashmir is this so-called violent place.
Car bomb, viewers, dismissing an act of terror. You think about it, viewers. These women, these widows today have been reduced to pawns in a political exercise. I leave it at this.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who is founder and CEO of matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, if you can explain किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है and कब इसका officially launch आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
शुरू हो जाएंगी. So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है.
Yep.
इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है. सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ?
So when we in 2019 when we were starting out, we spoke to a lot of consumers. Electric bike क्यों नहीं खरीदते? In 2019 there were only a handful of players who were giving motorcycles as a product. And
all the top stories on the show tonight, viewers.
Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi took charge as Delhi ministers today. Atishi gets education, PWD, power and tourism portfolios. Bharadwaj gets health, water and industries along with urban development. BJP leaders protest against the law and order situation in Punjab. Protesters allege lawlessness in AAP's regime. Kiran Rijiju says Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for unity of India, says Gandhi Sain had crossed all limits in attempting to tarnish India's image on foreign soil. Rajnath minister's son slams Rahul Gandhi, says don't insult Bharat in another nation's parliament. BRS leader KT Rama Rao slams BJP, says ED, IT, CBI have become puppets in the hands of centre.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे. अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स. ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा. Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. Guys, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है. जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है. जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा. इनसाइड द बॉक्स यू गेट दिस लिटिल पेपर बॉक्स एज वेल, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है. लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको. यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है. यहाँ पर फोन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल विच इज वेरी बेसिक. अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस, जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं. उफ, वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी येलो कलर. Just like the box, the smartphone also boasts the combination of black, or call it dark grey, along with yellow. और कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग डिजाइन आपको फ्रेम्स पर भी दिखेगा. जो कलर आपको यहाँ कैमरा मॉड्यूल पर दिख रहा है, पीछे ये जो पैच पर दिख रहा है.
A very good evening. Thanks for tuning in to Times Now. You're watching the Newshour at 9 with me, Kritsween Walia. Ladies and gentlemen, from the national capital to Telangana, the law seems to be closing in on the key players in the excise policy scam case. The Enforcement Directorate today arrested former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia after grilling him for over 8 hours inside the Tihar jail. This, remember,
was the second round of questioning on part of the Enforcement Directorate. The agency previously questioned him on the 7th of March for over 5 hours. Sisodia was questioned on charges of alleged destruction of evidence by changing his phones frequently, on why he used SIM cards purchased in the name of others, on how Aam Aadmi Party allegedly used scam money to fund Goa campaign, on also changing profit margin for wholesalers from 5% to 12%. Questions were also asked to him on the alleged kickbacks to the tune of 100 crore rupees paid by the South Group to Vijay Nair on behalf of Aam Aadmi Party leaders. His arrest comes just a day before, though, his bail hearing is to take place in the CBI court in the liquor scam case, and this has the Aam Aadmi Party fuming already. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has hit out at the centre, alleging it was the BJP's mission to keep Sisodia in jail. Kejriwal says that a new concocted charge was being framed against Sisodia by the agencies, but the people of the country are watching and they will give a befitting answer to the BJP. Meanwhile, Sisodia also penned an emotional letter from inside Tihar jail after his arrest, claiming that even as the Aam Aadmi Party was focusing on politics of education, the BJP was indulging in misuse of power by sending netas to jail. Even as Manish Sisodia has already been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, the next on the agency's radar is KCR's daughter and BRS MLC Kavitha. Kavitha, remember, has been summoned by the agency previously as well, and this time for the 11th of March. The Enforcement Directorate suspects that she worked as a silent partner in a company that got liquor licenses in exchange for bribes worth crores. The Enforcement Directorate may also confront her with the front man Arun Pillai, who's a Hyderabad-based businessman already in the Enforcement Directorate's custody. As per the ED remand report, Pillai was a front man for Kavitha in the liquor scam. According to the statement given to the Enforcement Directorate in November 2022, Arun Pillai had revealed that Kavitha and the Aam Aadmi Party had an understanding and that he had represented Kavitha in the firm Indo Spirits. Remember, Sameer Mahendru is the owner of the firm and is behind the bars as we speak. However, Kavitha has refused all of these charges against her and has alleged vendetta politics by the centre.
मैं ये लोगों के सामने, जनता के सामने आज रखना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि ये मेरे अकेले का मुद्दा नहीं है. हमारे खुद के पार्टी में मिनिमम 15-16 लोगों को, MLAs को, MPs को, मिनिस्टर्स को टारगेट करके अलग अलग केसेस में बुलाने का काम कर रहे हैं. तो मेरा मोदी जी से, बीजेपी से एक ही विनती है कि आप जनता के पास जाइए. आपने किस तरीके का डेवलपमेंट किया है, तेलंगाना के लिए आपने क्या किया है, देश के लिए आपने क्या किया है, वो बताइए. उनका दिल जीतिए, बाद में इलेक्शन जीतिए. लेकिन हम इलेक्शन हारेंगे या जीतेंगे, एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट यूज करेंगे, बैकडोर से गवर्नमेंट में आएंगे, इस तरीके का तो हमने देख लिया है. 9 राज्यों में चला है और तेलंगाना में वो चल नहीं पाया. उन्होंने कोशिश किया है लेकिन हमने चलने नहीं दिया. तो इसीलिए उनका अभी एफर्ट ये है कि किसी भी तरीके से ईडी डाल दो, धमका दो, डरा दो. लेकिन हम भी मोदी जी से और भारतीय जनता पार्टी से और पूरे देश की जनता से बता दें कि हम डरने वालों से नहीं हैं. हम एक आंदोलन करके स्टेट को हासिल करके आज स्टेट में सरकार चला रहे हैं. आगे चल के भी हम जनता के लिए ही काम करेंगे.
Well, the fast-track action by the agencies in the liquor scam case has sparked a massive political war of words between the BJP and the opposition. The opposition maintains that the agencies are swinging into action only in election season. Talk about any state or any opposition party. The BJP, meanwhile, says law is taking its own course and cannot be different for VVIPs.
అయితే జుమ్లా చేసి ప్రజల్ని మోసం చేయడం, గారడీ చేయడం, డ్రామా చేయడం లేదా హమ్లా. आज मैं पूछना चाहता हूं आपसे, 95% ऑफ द केसेस दैट हैव बीन फाइल्ड आर अगेंस्ट द ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज. क्या बीजेपी में सभी के सभी राजा हरिश्चंद्र के भाई और चचेरे भाई है क्या? एंड आई एम एलिजिंग डायरेक्टली, गौतम अदानी इज प्रॉक्सी ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी. द डबल इंजन ही टॉक्स अबाउट, द इकोनॉमिक इंजन इज अदानी, द पॉलिटिकल इंजन इज मोदी.
मैं एक ही सवाल करना चाहता हूं. आज तेलंगाना जनता को अपमान हो रहे, तेलंगाना महिला को अपमान हो रहे. एक महिला के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाते क्या? एक मुख्यमंत्री बेटी के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाती क्या? मुख्यमंत्री बेटी है तो एक्ट अलग है क्या? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अलग है क्या?
The legitimate question is law closing in on the big fish? Is the case against the big wigs watertight enough? And what's next for the custodians of Imandari? Let's quickly open this up on the debate this evening.
At 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Well, being joined by Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP, along with author Karan Verma and political analyst Mithun Vijay Kumar. We also have political analyst Dr. Suman C. Raman, BRS leader Liqourgate and political analyst Tehseen Poonawala joining us completes the panel. Let me quickly first up begin by asking Mr. Liqourgate, because we'll come to what's happened with regards to Manish Sisodia. The Enforcement Directorate in the latest development has arrested Manish Sisodia as well, and questions being asked on why this has happened just a day before his bail plea was to be heard. But before that, I want to ask you about this whole campaign that is being run by the BRS. They too say this is political vendetta, it's a witch hunt by the BJP. It's in fact being done because we decided to stage a protest in Jantar Mantar on the 10th, and hence the ED summons can be well timed and well read into with regards to the protest that we decided on. But you're not talking about the claims that have been made by Arun Pillai, by Sameer Mahendru as per the Enforcement Directorate prosecution complaint?
Yeah, if you look at the timing of the summons of the ED, which was issued to our leader Kavitha ji, this shows that the government of India, the BJP parties, was totally rattled with the protest on the women reservation bill. And now coming to the Liqourgate, what you're talking about, let me clarify that Kavitha ji has got nothing to do with that. And today, in a very loud and clear terms, she has said that in the press conference also, and also while she was talking to, the different channels. So there is no question of Kavitha ji's involvement anywhere. It is only, on the here and say that the ED or the CBI are more than that. It's the BJP leaders who are trying to frame the leaders of the opposition parties.
But can we ignore the signs? And by signs, I mean the claims as per the ED prosecution complaint that have been made by Arun Pillai. Because remember, she's been summoned right after Arun Pillai's arrest. And remember what is being stated by the Enforcement Directorate. The allegation is that Arun Pillai represented her business, that Arun Pillai acted as Benami for K. Kavitha. Isn't that true? And even if it's not true, sir, we need to get to the bottom of this. Let the questioning happen. If there's nothing to fear, then why fear the questioning?
Who is fearing? Who is fearing? It is, on the contrary, it was BL Santosh of BJP when he was asked to, come and appear before the SIT inquiry here. He, in fact, went to the court and he, skipped about five summons, and he did not even bother.
But why did she need a week's time? Why did she need a week's time to appear before the agency, sir?
See, she's an active political leader. She has got already the pre-commitments. And
it's not,
look at the timing.
Mr. Liqourgate, it's not as though she's not been questioned in the case previously. It was in the month of December last year when the CBI also summoned her. She did appear before the agency.
Absolutely. And she has already given every single reply to the CBI officials, and whatever information they wanted, they have collected from her, and she has given everything to them. And now, coming to the ED is a new thing, and she's not, trying to evade or skip this thing. She said that she needs time, because since already there was a contest which was scheduled, the protest which was scheduled to be held in Delhi on 10th. So because of that, she wanted the date of the ED to be extended. So this is, I think it is just BJP seem to be more and more interested in simply framing the opposition leaders, because they want to divert the attention of the people from the price rise, from the employment what they had promised, the 15 lakh rupees, and the corruption charges against the BJP leaders. What happened recently in Karnataka, you see, 8 crores rupees.
Okay, none of those claims that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate in its prosecution complaint can be taken at face value. Karan, are you convinced with what Mr. Liqourgate is saying? Because, I just began with a couple of claims. There's a whole, huge list to it, especially with regards to the collusion between the alleged collusion between the Aam Aadmi Party and the South lobby. How both of them were walking hand in hand. Everybody was in the know-how of what was happening, and not to forget the 100 crore rupee kickback, in lieu of which details of the draft excise policy were shared with the South lobby.
You know, not a word said by Mr. Rahman about the merits of the case. It's so easy to come back to this retort that there's politics of vendetta being practiced. If you are squeaky clean, put out your comments on each and every point. Why is Sameer Mahendru mentioning your name? Why did he confess and said that Kavitha is behind all of this? I mean, Sameer Mahendru is the owner of Indo Spirits. Look, it seems a very well organized syndicate where they put in many layers in place so that they would not be caught, but the long arm of the law catches up. Till a few months back, everybody was in denial of the liquor scam. Today we know for sure that the Delhi government lost around 2,800 crores because of this excise policy, where they flouted norm after norm of their own committee. Now we know, when the ED has worked hard to actually go for the money trail, now we know how this cartel was formed, how businessmen, wholesalers, manufacturers, they came together to frame this policy, to increase the wholesale margins from 5% to 12.5%, and how the ED is working tirelessly to establish this money trail. All I'm saying is, before jumping to conclusions, Kavitha must come and face the law. If she is squeaky clean, fine, face the law, answer the tough
Must
questions.
come and face the law, but there are complaints that the BRS current has with the BJP, saying that it's the poll stunt, the famous poll stunt by the BJP to put the agencies to use, to send them away to several parts of the country, especially in election season. So I'll let Mr. Syed Zafar Islam respond to that charge.
So why don't you blunt the BJP's narrative? Come clean and blunt the BJP's narrative. Occupy the high moral
come and
ground.
face the law, come and face the investigating agencies. Point taken, Karan. Mr. Islam.
Well, people who have committed crime, they will have to face the law of the land. Irrespective of their position, their association, how powerful they are, what is the position of strength they are enjoying, it doesn't matter. Law treats everyone as equals, and so everyone will be questioned who are guilty in front of the law, and there is a clear-cut case against Kavitha ji, purely because she has committed a crime. She was not only a silent partner, she was the real architect of the entire Benami transaction, where kickback was more than 100 crore was accepted, where she was represented by two people as the stakeholder in that company. So the ultimate beneficiary was Kavitha. And that is something which is now, Mahendru has also admitted, that is something which is now, she will have to answer, because every single piece of information is available with the agency, and agency doesn't call anyone. Agency calls only those who have done something wrong and responsible for some crime which has been committed. And if they feel that they are clean, they should not worry. As you rightly pointed out, why there is a fear when they have not committed a crime? They are fearing purely because they know that for sure that they have committed something which is against the law of the land, and especially
K. Kavitha, and that's exactly what the Enforcement Directorate wants to find out. And if there's nothing to fear, why run away from the investigation? I see Tehseen wanting to make a point, but before that, quickly wanting Liqourgate to respond to that charge.
No, but I want to ask you, who is running away from the investigation? Who is running away from the investigation?
Sir, K. Kavitha is calling this an intimidation tactic on part of the BJP and the agency.
It's an intimidation.
But it was her who asked the agency to come to her residence to question her. She was trying to set the rules. She was trying to narrate to the agency that you should come to my house, and thereafter the questioning will begin.
Can I just take that whenever any agency is questioning a woman,
I'll come back to Mr. Islam. Hold on.
Yeah, even there is a law that whenever any agency is questioning a woman, that the agency is supposed to go and visit the women's house and take the statement. But since she said that she is fully ready to cooperate, and there is no way that she's trying to escape.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Liqourgate. If she's fully ready to cooperate, she's going to have to face the investigating agency. She's going to have to answer the officials. Thereafter, even if she's kept back, even if the Enforcement Directorate arrests her, the matter is going to be taken up by the courts, and thereafter the courts will decide whether or not she will be given, the Enforcement Directorate will be given her custody or not, whether or not she'll be sent to judicial custody or not. I'm not quite trying to jump the gun, but the fact remains that this attempt to call this an intimidation tactic on part of the agencies is something that doesn't quite make sense at this particular point in the investigation. Tehseen wants to come in. Tehseen.
But unfortunately,
can I please make my points?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a new name for the ED. I call it BD, Bajrang Dal. It's an extended arm of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it does magic, jadoo. It runs a dry cleaning service, and instead of searching for money laundering, it does laundry service for the Bharatiya Janata Party, where anyone who's supposed to have done anything that can challenge the BJP politically, this agency, like a true arm of the BJP, comes out there and catches people or tries to intimidate them. Now, I am not saying Ms. Kavitha is innocent or Manish Sisodia is innocent. I think the Delhi liquor scam, a lot has to be answered. I think there are lots of questions to be answered. But here is the magic, Kristen, and you have to hear this magic. There is a gentleman called Himanta Biswa Sharma. I'm sure everyone on this show has heard of him. The BJP writes a letter saying that this man should be investigated. ED starts an investigation. He comes into the BJP, the magic starts and the investigation stops. There's another gentleman called Mukul Roy. Magic is even better here.
Okay.
Investigation starts. Let me finish. He goes to the BJP, investigation stops. He goes back to the KMC, investigation starts. Same for Ajit Pawar. So my request to Mr. Rahman is if KCR's daughter comes to BJP, investigation will stop. But let me give you hard facts and data before I end. The ED has conducted 121 raids under the great leadership since 2014. 115 from the opposition. Only 5 from those from the BJP and its allies. And you know what? Before I end, a BJP MLA's son was caught with money. Money was found in his house by a competent authority, a constitutional body. Overnight courts came in, said you cannot discuss this case. So me discussing this case could even amount to contempt of court actually. And this MLA is said that he is just because cash is found does not make him guilty, even though a constitutional body is found case. And here the BJP spokesperson is saying Ms. Kavitha is already guilty when whether there is a money link or no, it will be proved. So I am amazed
so a
by
series
this
of
magic.
questions.
This is magic.
The washing machine charge being levelled by Tehseen Poonawalla once again, as is being levelled by several in the opposition. That question is asked very often to the BJP. So once again, letting Syed Zafar Islam respond to that. What about Suvendu Adhikari, Mukul Roy, Himanta Biswa Sarma, sir?
Absolutely.
What explains this double standard on part of the BJP?
There is absolutely no merit. There is absolutely no double standard. Every case is dealt on the basis of merit of each case. Whenever the agency requires to interrogate or investigate or summon, they are free to do it. We do not interfere in their workings. They are miles away from us in terms of government interfering in their work. They have certain documents. Based on that, they pursue some further investigation to unearth if there is any merit in what they are pursuing. But let me ask them.
But Mr. Syed Zafar Islam, these questions will also have to be asked. I didn't want to digress all that much. I want to keep my focus to K. Kavitha and to Manish Sisodia. But the fact remains, and if I may be allowed to go into the details, sir, 2016 is the Narda scam, wherein the sting of Suvendu and others allegedly taking bribe came to light. 2020, he joined the BJP. Action was taken against several other accused in the case, but Suvendu Adhikari was not arrested. Same goes for Mukul Roy. Narda scam, sting of Roy and others allegedly taking bribe, joins the BJP in 2021. Several others arrested. No action against Roy. What explains this, sir?
No, that's not true. Mukul Roy, even after he joined the BJP, he was summoned by CBI. Who says he was not summoned by CBI?
Sir, Firhad Hakim, Subrata Mukherjee, Madan Mitra, Sovan Chatterjee were all arrested.
Let me just complete. Let me just complete one sentence. Let me ask them, those who are making this kind of allegation, and criticizing our government, let me ask them, let me pose this question. When they were in their own party, if they felt that they were guilty, if at all they felt they were guilty, why didn't they remove them from the party? Why they were defending them? Only when we realized that those people who are not responsible for committing crime, they have, based on the investigation by ED, there was nothing against them. They have joined the party. But if they felt that they were responsible for committing crime, they should have thrown them out of the party. None of them have done it. Only because they have joined BJP, they are making this kind of allegation. Had they been really honest, they would have first taken action against those people if they felt that they were the guilty. They didn't do that. So they have
for another day, because Tehseen will keep countering you, you will keep countering him, and that's not going to lead us to anything, nor will it give our viewers any clarity, because we want to really focus on the developments that are taking place. Tomorrow the bail plea is going to be heard. The BRS is staging a protest, so it's something that we're really watching out for. But Dr. Sumansi Raman, since you've not opened up as yet with your remarks, I really want to talk about, this parallel investigation that is on part of the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. How is it that both the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS continue to speak in one voice, continue to call it political vendetta, wherein there is glaring evidence that is being put out by the CBI, by the Enforcement Directorate, and even if you don't want to believe that it is strong enough in evidence, these are charges, these are questions being asked, answer those questions, come out clean, walk away. I mean, there is a profit margin that's been hiked from 5% to 12% and no answers whatsoever, sir. The export committee had warned against the cartelization, and yet we did see it happen. And in the end, what happened? Lost to the exchequer.
Okay.
That was the conclusion of the whole story, and they were forced to withdraw their excise policy.
Okay, Kritzveen, if I can speak now. First of all, I'm going to allow myself a little pat on the back for predicting 2 days ago on Times Now that Manish Sisodia will be picked up by the ED and arrested to prevent him from coming out if he does get bail as is expected tomorrow. And I said this 2 days ago.
Raman, in all fairness, that's what the Aam Aadmi Party also predicted when he was first summoned by the CBI, that he's going to be arrested, and that's why perhaps made him sign a resignation letter as well before sending him off.
It's so predictable, Kritzveen. It's so predictable. You remember what happened to Siddiq Kappan? Siddiq Kappan gets bail, and then he's, on the day he gets bail or the day before that, he's arrested
the court
by the
itself
ED.
Set 10th of March as the bail plea hearing date.
He's out
and
now.
Sent him to judicial custody and gave him an extended custody to the CBI for another 2 days. So there has to be some evidence, some merit in the case for the courts to also not rule in his favor, don't you think?
One second. One second, Kritzveen. Manish Sisodia's house has been searched, his office has been searched, his lockers have been searched. Now this seems to be a strange case of money laundering where the money is still not, known where the money trail is. Now people say, somebody said I gave 100 crore, that 100 crore must be somewhere, right? Now whose account is this 100 crore sitting in? If it's sitting in Kavitha's account or in Manish Sisodia's account, why is the ED not producing evidence of that? So I think that this is,
this takes us back to the first counter argument that came in from the Aam Aadmi Party. Where is the evidence? Karan, would you want to come in? Because Mithun Vijay Kumar has also been waiting patiently before I go across to him. One quick answer from you, because searches have happened, documents have been looked at, no incriminating evidence, no cash recovery whatsoever. Dr. Sumansi Raman is saying, where's the evidence? It's a he said, she said, that's been ongoing for the longest time.
Can I finish?
Okay, Dr. Sumansi Raman, quickly make your point and then I'll have to go across to others.
Last sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
I really like the humor of Zafar Islam Saab for having said that the ED only goes after the right people who need to be picked up. That tallies with the conviction rate of 0.5%, right? So I really appreciate his sense of humor.
No, but then the CBI also, and the conviction rate of CBI is pretty solid. So we're not going to go down that road. Karan wants to respond.
No, in this particular case, the ED is the one that is arrested.
Okay, Karan, go ahead.
Now can I speak, please? Can I please speak? Now, I can't believe that Dr. Sumansi Raman is so naive to believe that if money is taken, it will be kept under someone's pillow. I mean, come on, give me a break. In today's day and age, if ill-gotten cash is collected, it will be planted somewhere, or Benami properties, or a money trail will be established as per an investigation. It will be used for promotion, as was used, as is alleged, in Punjab elections and other elections. And money trail is exactly what today has been pointed out. Your wish has come true. Dr. Sumansi Raman, please be patient. It is a money trail that has been pointed out through an events management company, which was headed by Vijay Nair. And it is a confession of Sameer Mahindru, how money was distributed to Vijay Nair, how the fees was raised from 5% to 12%, how Delhi Exchequer lost 970 crores in the last quarter, and that is why, one second, now that I am exposing you, please be patient. That is why Arvind Kejriwal said in his cabinet note that because we are having loss, we are taking back this policy. Now this money doesn't disappear. This is used in properties, in intangibles, tangibles. That is how corruption is done, sir. Either you
procuring SIM cards, procuring mobile phone sets in name of other people. Also people closely working with you, but why not procure them or take them under your own name? Why was this evidence destroyed? Dr. Sumansi Raman and Khaliqur Rahman, I want both of you to respond to that, because the ED prosecution complaint speaks of both Manish Sisodia and Kavitha attempting to destroy evidence that may have led the investigations to them. And I can quote this for you. The ED alleges large-scale destruction of digital evidence to impede the investigation and erase evidence of involvement of various accused in the case. The BRS leader's name appears in the table provided in the ED's prosecution complaint that has data of destruction of digital evidence. That charge holds valid against Manish Sisodia as well. Khaliqur Rahman, quick response.
No, if the ED feels that way, then why the ED has not put a case against Kavitha ji for destroying the evidence? ED should have gone ahead and put the case. Why ED is silent on that? And otherwise, why CBI is silent on that?
It's for the first time that the Enforcement Directorate has summoned K. Kavitha. So we'll get to know whether or not they want to question her further, whether she's called for questioning. What happens next, we can't quite say. But yes, these are the grounds on which the Enforcement Directorate wants to question K. Kavitha. It's valid enough on the face of it. So just answer all of those questions, because they're putting out detailed tables speaking of the kind of destruction of evidence that has taken place. They've not made up these numbers, right?
CBI has felt that the evidence was destroyed. Then CBI should have gone ahead and booked a case against Kavitha ji for destroying the evidence. No such case was booked. It is only, and CBI has been investigating this case, and the ED has also got into it since August.
Okay. So CBI had questioned K. Kavitha in the past. If CBI did find her involvement in the case and the case was pretty solid, Mithun Vijay Kumar, they would have filed a case against K. Kavitha, perhaps booked her by now. Mithun Vijay Kumar.
Yeah, thanks for finally coming to me, and
I'm sorry, apologies.
I hope you will give me enough time to answer. There are plenty of accusations and allegations being raised. So, Crispin ji, I just heard the panelists speaking on behalf of Aam Aadmi Party or Ms. Kavitha, and it's not surprising that they have taken a defensive position in this matter, because ultimately Srimati Kavitha is the daughter of their Supremo, and they have no choice but to defend it. But at least, please respect that our investigation agencies are doing a great job, and we should not question their investigation, the whole investigation process. They won't come up with baseless allegations and charges without doing their homework. So even though Ms. Kavitha says that she's going to cooperate with the whole process, she's not doing it, because she's supposed to be quizzed along with with the person I forgot his name. Arun Pillai. Yes. Yeah, she's going to twist along with Arun Pillai, and that has to happen simultaneously, and she's delaying the whole process. That's what you need to understand. And Mr. Tehseen calls ED Bajrang Dal, then he has to look at the cases that were registered before 2014. And he was, I think Hemant Biswa Sharma's name was also mentioned here, but you need to understand that he was quizzed even after he joined BJP, and Mukul Roy was called a corrupt when he joined BJP, but he went back to TMC. Is he not corrupt now? So what is the political position that they're taking? Because if it is all about vendetta politics that you have talked, let's look back at what the Congress was doing before 2014. And I would like to answer Mr. Raman's question before going to that. He says that the conviction rate of ED is something it's very low, is what he's trying to say. But he needs to understand that there are plenty of options for criminals to escape, financial scams in this country, and there are plenty of loopholes. We need to understand that. So that's the reason why ED has a lower conviction rate. But these same people are accused by CBI. You need to understand that CBI has a higher conviction. No, let me talk. I didn't interrupt when you were talking, right? I didn't interrupt when you were talking. When you were making claims of ED's, when you were saying about, when you were questioning about ED's conviction rate, I didn't tell that CBI's conviction rate is much above that. I didn't say that. So you need to understand that CBI has answered
that the Enforcement Directorate has statements of both Arun Pillai and also Sameer Mahendru. In fact, this is very interesting that Sameer Mahendru had stated that on his insistence, Arun Pillai had revealed that he was representing Kejriwal-Kavitha in Indo Spirits. Are these statements true or not is something that the Enforcement Directorate wants to find out, because you have this particular statement that says that Sameer had asked Arun Pillai that he should reveal who are the other persons behind him in Indo Spirits. He then revealed Mrs. Kejriwal-Kavitha, daughter of KCR, is one who he is representing. This is big in itself, and if there is any merit to this claim, that it needs to be found out. There is no justifying this. Just face the investigation.
We need to understand that the ED remand copy.
Tempted to take that across to Khaliqur Rahman, but Tehsil, come in quickly.
Three crucial things about Kejriwal.
Yeah, can I just make some very logical points? Number one, in this country, every single agency must be questioned. We are a democracy, no matter what. The fact that the ED's got such a low conviction rate says even more why it should be questioned. Number two, as Mr. Rahman very articulately put it across, if there is evidence of destruction of evidence, the ED is duty bound to arrest the person. But as you put it, Kirsten, no, this is just an allegation. Then Ms. Kavitha remains innocent until proven guilty. Then she doesn't become corrupt. As the erudite spokesperson before me said, that, okay, can I just please, Kirsten, don't break my flow, because then what happens is I lose the point. Just
let's call a spade a spade. If you're standing for the right, then you must also say today that if the investigation agencies want to find out something, they want to get to the bottom of this, then they must be allowed to do so. Because, remember how earlier the CBI, in fact, in the court said that the kind of protests and dharnas that we're witnessing around this case are indirectly pressurizing the witnesses in the case.
Then you have a terrible investigation that gets investigative agency that gets pressurized. That's not the point. Let's bust the lies. Number three, they said what happened during the Congress tenure. Here is Government of India data from the Ministry of Home Affairs under Modi ji. Under the Congress, the amount of raids by CBI on opposition was 60%, on Congress and allies was 40%, ED was 51% and 49%. That's how balanced it was. And last point, which Karan made a very valid point. Karan's point was money is not going to be found under a bed. Karan is right. Money will never be found under a bed or house. Therefore, money recovery or money trail must be done. However, in cases where money is actually found and cash is found, there the court step in and say, no, merely because cash is found by an investigative agency, you cannot even discuss the case, and the court say the man is innocent.
So are you siding with the Aam Aadmi Party and perhaps with the BRS as well, that this is political vendetta? Simple question, Tehsil.
I am saying Delhi liquor scam must be answered, but the answers to that cannot be putting every opposition person in jail, and someone like Ajit Pawar, who is guilty when he is in NCP, then comes to BJP and becomes Deputy Chief Minister, is not guilty, then goes back to NCP and is guilty. How does this magic work? Okay. If ED is not working like BD, perhaps it's working like, I don't know what, a laundry service.
Okay. Dr. Sumansi Raman, would you want to come in? Because, these are allegations that are being leveled against both Manish Sisodia and Kejriwal-Kavitha, and these are very serious in nature. Remember, we're not just talking about one player. We're talking about a man called Arun Pillai, who's recently been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, Sameer Mahendru, who's already behind bars. Remember, Dinesh Arora has turned approver in the case, and these are statements that have been made by all of them. Are you wanting us to believe, and the viewer today to believe, that all of these statements are made up by the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI? Should we go by that, logically speaking? Dr. Sumansi.
Kritsveen, no, first of all, logically, let's look at it very clearly. Statements made by anybody which are not corroborated with hard evidence carry very little value. I can say I gave you 100 crores. Now, unless that 100 crore or evidence of transfer of 100 crores into some account linked to you is found, my saying I gave you 100 crores does not carry any weight.
So anybody under duress, under stress during interrogation can be
100 crores not found. Point given, Dr. Sumansi Raman. But now, why is it that the experts committee recommendations were not taken seriously? Why is it that the GOM report eventually that came out saw 12% profit margin at the end of the day? Aren't these questions that must be answered, sir? This is very, very questionable and it's not quite adding up. It's confusing everybody. It's very convoluted and answers must be given. Karan wants to come in. Karan. A quick response from you and then
according
from
to Dr.
Mr.
Raman, confessions don't matter in an investigation. I mean, here is a confession coming from Samir Mahindru. Tomorrow it might be recorded under CRPC 164.
Anything. Anybody can confess anything, sir. It has to be corroborated.
It has to be corroborated. Anybody can confess anything, which takes me back to Syed Zafar Islam and to the question that Tehseen had asked Mr. Syed Zafar Islam about the likes of Mukul Roy, about the likes of Suvendu Adhikari. Sir, that's why the questions today are being asked of the BJP, because in the past we've seen instances wherein somebody in the opposition suddenly has been given a clean sheet by switching over to the BJP. That's why perhaps this window today exists. And I say this because though you are talking about, how he was questioned, and I'm talking about Mr. Mukul Roy, how he was questioned after joining the BJP, there's a catch to this. In May 2021, CBI said it had found nothing so far against Mukul Roy, who switched from the Trinamool Congress to the BJP. The Trinamool Congress and the Lok Sabha TMC member Aparupa Podar as well in 2014 Narda Sting tape case, while its application seeking sanction to prosecute 4 others including Suvendu Adhikari was pending with the Lok Sabha Speaker for over 2 years. What explains this delay then? And that's why the opposition today is uniting against the BJP and putting out that question to the BJP, that there are enough reasons to believe that this is something that the BJP does and has done in the past.
Christine, can I answer this?
No, well, let me ask them a very simple question. What are they trying to hide? It is not for the BJP to pronounce judgment. It is not for the BJP to pronounce anyone guilty. It is the responsibility of the agencies. They are having some evidence. They are pursuing to get unearth more and more evidence and prosecute anyone who is responsible for committing crime. Where is the BJP coming here? We are not interfering in their work, and we are only making a simple statement. Those who are guilty will not be spared. This is our policy. The corruption is something which we have taken it very seriously, because earlier during UPA regime, you have seen that entire party, Congress party, was known as party of fraud and fraudsters. We have taken a stand, zero tolerance on corruption, and that is something which we are pursuing. Agencies are independently working. They have certain leads. They are pursuing it. Let them investigate, find out more information. If they will not find out any information, they will not go to the court. And it is for the court to pronounce a judgment, not the Bharatiya Janata Party or for that matter the government. They can put us in the dock, but we are not doing anything. It is the agency which is pursuing the case based on certain evidence they have received, certain information they have received, certain leads they have received. And independently they are pursuing, and we are neither directed nor we can ask them not to pursue it.
Well, the BJP, given that this is a political issue as well to an extent, the BJP will most certainly ask those questions, but Mr. Khaliqur Rahman, at the end of the day, it is going to go to the courts, and the courts are going to give a clean sheet to whoever has been involved, whoever has been questioned, perhaps also arrested by the agencies. So what's there to fear? Takes me back to the first question I began by asking you.
There is nothing to fear. Who said no one is fearing? But unfortunately, it is the BJP who is trying to pass the judgment sitting there. And,
but sir, the BJP can practically not pass the judgment is what I'm trying to ask and say and reiterate.
Exactly, that's what we are saying, because they are ultimately the courts, and these are just the accusations. And moreover, as for the BRS is concerned, as for the Kavitha is concerned, she has made it absolutely clear that she has got absolutely no connection, no association at all. But it is the BJP time and again, because BJP believes in one thing, that one lie, if you repeat 100 times, then people will start believing that. And that is the policy of the BJP.
So you're reiterating what several in the BRS have been saying, that Jumla nahi to Hamla. Whenever it's election season, the BJP goes after its opposition parties by misusing agencies. And because Mithun Vijay Kumar is very well versed with the politics in Telangana, he can perhaps also explain this to us and put out his perspective. Mithun.
Yeah, Christine, the case, let's look at the timeline of the case. See, this case started 6 months back and Kavitha was dismissed even by CBI last December. And I believe none of the FIRs registered in this case have been quashed so far by the court. Be it Manish Sisodia's case or any other case. The cases registered are, truly based on the findings and not assumptions. So now, as per the forensic reports, the draft excise policy was accessed by almost all the accused in the case. It is mentioned in the ED's charge sheet that Manish Sisodia, he changed SIM card 6 times during this period, and various handsets were used by him in the name of others. And let's get to the facts now. There have been prima facie evidence on the violations of GNCTD Act 1991. Allow me to speak, sir. I have been so silent. I have been patiently listening to all of you. So I would like to say that there have been prima facie evidence on the violations of GNCTD Act 1991, Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009 and Delhi Excise Act 2010 and 2010. And this is a report by the Chief Secretary of Delhi. So this investigation, whatever is happening now, is conducted on the basis of facts, evidences, and not just assumptions. Now, ED remand copy says 3 crucial things. Give me just 10 seconds. Give me just 10 seconds. The ED remand copy says 3 crucial things about, Kavitha's interrogation. And one is that Arun Pillai, the man who has links with South Group, represents the interests of Kavitha. This is said by ED.
Yes.
Rupees 1 crore was given to Arun Pillai on Kavitha's instructions.
Yes. It's not like the Enforcement Directorate is making up this. These are statements that the Enforcement Directorate has. Depositions that the Enforcement Directorate is looking at carefully. Mithun Vijay Kumar, point taken, but the fact remains that whatever said and done, these are still allegations. They have not been proven. They're going to be taken to the court. Eventually, the court is going to come out with a final word. Till then, we can't quite jump the gun. We can't quite reach any conclusion. But there is a lot of hypocrisy at play here as well. Nobody can wash their hands of this, which also takes me back to where it all began. If nothing was wrong, all was well, and if this excise policy by the Aam Aadmi Party government was such a big hit, why were they forced to withdraw it at the end of the day? We're going to have to leave it at that. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting day. Day after is when K. Kavitha will also be questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the first debate this evening, which means we move on to how, not just in Afghanistan, Saudi and Iran, now women in India too are being policed for choosing what they wish to wear and what they don't want to wear and what they should not wear. Despite breaking the glass ceiling in every sector, they are still looked at with disdain and policed by the so-called custodians of society. Let me tell you what happened in Karnataka on International Women's Day, and it's shocking to say the least. A BJP MP went on a shocking rant at a female vendor. Yes, believe it or not. And what was her fault? She was not wearing a bindi. Watch how this BJP MP berated the female vendor.
ಬಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮನ್ಕ ಗಂಡ ಬದುಕಿದಂತಾನೆ ಬಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮನ್ಕ ಗಂಡ ಬದುಕಿದಂತಾನೆ.
While the BJP defends its lawmaker, the opposition has linked the statement to BJP mindset. Let's hear it from the opposition.
It shows the culture of the BJP as well as the culture of the MP Mr. Muniswamy. Congress party as well as general public condemning the statement of the parliament member of BJP. It shows they are not having respect in favor of the women and they are not giving respect to the women. The entire statement is condemnable, and the Women Commission of Karnataka as well as the National Women Commission has to proceed against the Mr. Muniswamy, and they have to register case against Mr. Muniswamy.
It's very sad that on International Women's Day, Mr. Muniswamy, the MP, has to tell a woman what she has to wear, what sari she has to wear, what bindi she has to wear. It's disgusting. It's something which is completely anti-women, and that too on International Women's Day, the Honorable MP goes and asks the woman, what are you wearing, and makes crude remarks in regard to her behavior. Is a completely anti-women act, and this has really distressed all the women of Karnataka and all the women of the country. And this kind of behavior is atrocious. It's completely, condemnatory of women and does not allow women to develop the wings with which they can fly.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's open this up on that note. We have G. Prashant, spokesperson Karnataka BJP, along with author Anurag Naidu. We also have activist Brinda Adige, and shortly we'll be joined by Tanveer Ahmed, the national spokesperson of the JDS as well. But my first question is to Mr. G. Prashant, because obviously the BJP needs to explain this, sir. What gives this BJP MP the right to pick on this woman vendor and tell her, or rather ask her, if her husband is alive, and if he is, why is she not wearing a bindi? What kind of a comment is that, sir? What kind of a mentality is this?
See, at the outset, I would like to state that the statement made by the Honorable MP is not correct, and it doesn't reflect on ideology of our party at all. It's a statement made by the MP in his individual capacity, and in fact the statement should never have been made. We understand, and it with
Mr.
great anguish, I wish to state that this statement should not have been made, and more so on International Women's Day.
If it were made by any other political opponent, any other politician from any other opposition party, would you have let go of it? Would you have been so apologetic and so forgiving?
Crispin, we are not talking about letting him go at all. We are expressing anguish at his behavior, and we do not subscribe to the MP's views at all. Yes, the statement has been made by our party MP, no doubt, but that is in bad taste and it should never have been made. And definitely, we can assure you that the party would take appropriate action as per the party's constitution, and a suitable explanation will be sought from the MP on that.
We're really waiting for that appropriate action, Mr. G. Prashant, because just an apology won't do, and I'm sure Brinda Adige will agree with me.
In fact, we respect women.
No, but that respect must be shown in terms of action. We must see the BJP take action against this BJP MP. Brinda.
Absolutely. What did he think of himself? What does he think of himself? He's an elected representative. Who gives him sanction? Who gives him these kind of sanctions to go about asking women whether they wear a bindi or not wear a bindi? What action are you going to take against him as a party? Are you just going to say that he has made a comment in his personal capacity and so you will not take responsibility and absolve yourself of all responsibility where this man is concerned? The impunity, the audacity he has done it is because he is from the BJP party and he thinks that they have the onus to be people who can go ahead, moral policing and the sanskari, as if they are the upholders and keepers of sanskari. And why go around talking to women, asking them about their bindi? Don't you know that it is the choice of a woman whether she wears a bindi or does not wear a bindi? Who does he think he is? You will not take any action against him.
Imagine, Mr. Prashant, the kind of spot that she must have found herself in when a BJP MP, when a powerful politician surrounded by so many people, sir, in the middle of that crowd, you can see those visuals, the number of people standing next to him, that's how he addressed her. Imagine how she would have felt, sir. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me go across to Anurag Naidu as well. Mr. Naidu, you know, the Prime Minister spoke of how women should be treated, how they must be respected in his recent Independence Day speech. And that example must be set today. Action must be taken by the BJP against this BJP MP. Tomorrow he is going to end up saying something else to another woman. If nothing is done about it, then we're going to keep seeing this as a pattern, not just in Karnataka, in other states as well, by other political parties as well, by their representatives as well.
Well, there is no doubt that the tone and tenor in which this Honorable MP has spoken to this woman is condemnable, and this is not something which we can accept in the times that we live in, right? So nobody can say Nobody can defend him for that. But let's also understand, if you actually take the whole consideration of how, Karnataka, whole of Karnataka is not an urbanized Karnataka where people believe in, or people talk and express a lot of modern stuff. I don't want to call it. Some people call it feminism, some people call it pseudo-feminism, whatever, all said and done. But there are still pockets of Karnataka, in Uttar Karnataka, which you see people still speak the tone and tenor, which is, which is old dated. They don't intend to say like that. But somehow
Mr. Anurag Naidu, a political representative, cannot afford to do this. He cannot set this example. He cannot set this precedent.
Mr. Naidu,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying,
He humiliated that woman. He shouted down at her. Who does he think he is? Whether it is rural Karnataka or down south, whichever. Respect is something you have to show at every corner of India and across the world. Don't make excuses for rural Karnataka. That is how they will talk. This man is an MP. He's an elected representative. And he's getting paid to look after the needs of the constituency and the voter citizens. He cannot come there with his regressive mindsets asking those kind of questions.
And I'm sorry to say this, but in saying so and in conducting himself in this manner, and Tanveer Ahmed can come in, he's in fact let down the vision of the Prime Minister, because I can quote what the Prime Minister said last Independence Day, this Independence Day, I beg your pardon. He says, we have to change our mentality towards women. I have one request for every Indian. Can we change the mentality towards our women in everyday life? Pride of Nari Shakti will play a vital role in fulfilling the dreams of India. Respect for women is an important pillar of India's growth. We need to support our Nari Shakti. And this is how we're treating our Nari Shakti, Mr. Ahmed?
Absolutely, Christine. That's a right question. Let me just tell you, only a weak man would like to dominate a woman. So this gentleman, this is not the first time he's doing. Actually, the spokesperson of BJP has totally forgotten this not so honorable MP had a fight with the SP, Dr. Dharani. So this is what is an understanding this man has. He is not an honorable. I think Mr. Naidu and the spokesperson of BJP calling him an honorable is absolutely ridiculous. An honorable person doesn't really behave in this fashion at all. The only place this man, I mean, not so popular MP, he accidentally became an MP. The only thing which this person deserves is to be booted out.
And the only way in which the BJP can perhaps set that example right is in actually doing something about it. Mr. Prashant, it's not the first time that a representative of the BJP has gone ahead with this kind of a derogatory sexist remark. Let me remind you what BJP MLA Renukacharya said, that rapes today are increasing because of women's clothes as men get provoked. And there are a series of statements such as that. I don't want to even go down that road. It's shameful to say the least. As a country woman, I feel embarrassed to say it out loud. What has been done about these remarks against these netas?
They take no action.
Christine, I completely understand the anguish, and I again repeat that we do not stand with the statement of the MP, and suitable action will be taken on him. And we are a party that believes in respecting women.
But why has no action been taken against Renukacharya, against Chitrava, against DP Watt? So far, why has no action been taken, Mr. Prashant?
At the same time, I'm
how are we to believe you today?
That this doesn't subscribe to the view of the party, but the MP has made a statement.
And all the more the reason the BJP must take action at the earliest.
Action will be taken.
It can't be empty promises and token condemnation, sir.
Party leadership will take action on him.
What action?
What will the action be?
It's not about giving a token promise or making an empty-handed promise here. We can assure you on behalf of the party that suitable action would be taken and explanation would be sought from the MP as to what made him to say that. And in any case, that statement made by him is in bad taste and it does not augur well for the society.
More often than not, Mr. Prashant, we don't see any action coming from any political party against anyone who has gone down that road, who has come out with those extremely shameful, unfortunate remarks, especially against women, takes me back to what happened very recently when during a bodybuilding competition there were women wearing their gear, posing in front of that photo of Lord Hanuman, and the Congress leaders had to come and pour Ganga Jal. They had to recite Hanuman Chalisa because apparently just because they were posing in front of that poster, it made the entire premises impure. That's the kind of mindset and mentality we're talking about. It's not just a problem limited to the BJP or the Congress. It's a pan-India problem, and the mindset here needs to be discussed, debated, and most importantly, action must be taken against such elements. We'll have to leave it at that. Thank you, gentlemen, and also Brinda Adige for joining us this evening. With that, a short break here on Newshour.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए, और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी, और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट, वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता है, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ, उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आरामदेह। आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है, काफी ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफी ब्रॉड है, तो वहां पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी, क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा अपराइट बैठूं तो यहाँ पर ये मेरा सर टच कर रहा है, बट अगेन आई एम नॉट एवरेज इंडियन हाइट, थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा लंबा हूँ। तो ओवरऑल स्पेशियस, कंफर्टेबल मुझे लग रही है 2 लोगों के लिए खास तौर पर, और वैसे 3 लोगों की भी जगह है, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है बैकरेस्ट, वहां पर आपको।
You're watching the News Hour at 9.
Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi took charge as Delhi ministers today. Atishi gets education, PWD, power and tourism portfolios. Bharadwaj gets health, water and industries along with urban development. BJP leaders protest against the law and order situation in Punjab. Protesters allege lawlessness in AAP's regime. Kiran Rijiju says Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for unity of India, says Gandhi Sayan had crossed all limits in attempting to tarnish India's image on foreign soil. Rajnath minister's son slams Rahul Gandhi, says don't insult Bharat in another nation's parliament. BRS leader KT Rama Rao slams BJP, says ED, IT, CBI have become puppets in the hands of centre. AAP MP Sanjay Singh fires big allegation against BJP, says BJP conspiring to kill Sisodia in jail.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं Mohul, who's founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, if you can explain किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है and कब इसका officially launch आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है.
Yep.
इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है. सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ? वो
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. It's been a day of hectic developments with the Enforcement Directorate seemingly closing in on what they claim is the entire South-North connect to the liquor policy scam. And also closing in to who they claim are the architects of this scam which has come to be known as Liqourgate. After being questioned for 8 hours by the Enforcement Directorate, today Sisodia was arrested by the agency. This even as BRS leader Kejriwal-Kavitha has been called for questioning by the ED on Saturday in the same case. Naturally, both the parties have not just said that this is victimization, but questioned the BJP for treating its own leaders as Raja Harish Chand. They say that this is nothing more than a knee-jerk reaction by the Bharatiya Janata Party to the threat that the BRS and AAP pose to its national ambitions.
तो आगे चल के भी लोगों को एक भरोसा होना चाहिए कि कुछ वाइट कॉलर क्राइम होती है तो ईडी पे भरोसा कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जिस तरीके का ईडी का रवैया है ये भरोसा तो उड़ गया लोगों का. तो आई जस्ट हैव टू से दैट इट इज़ अनफॉर्चुनेट दैट मिस्टर सिसोडिया इज अरेस्टेड एंड वी विल कंडेम द अरेस्ट.
मैं एक ही सवाल करना चाहता हूं. आज तेलंगाना जनता को अपमान हो रहे, तेलंगाना महिला को अपमान हो रहे. एक महिला के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाते क्या? एक मुख्यमंत्री बेटी के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाती क्या? मुख्यमंत्री बेटी है तो एक्ट अलग है क्या? కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అలాగే क्या?
అయితే జుమ్లా చేసి ప్రజల్ని మోసం చేయడం, గారడీ చేయడం, డ్రామా చేయడం లేదా హమ్లా. आज मैं पूछना चाहता हूं आपसे 95% ऑफ द केसेस दैट हैव बीन फाइल्ड आर अगेंस्ट द ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज. क्या बीजेपी में सभी के सभी राजा हरिश्चंद्र के भाई और चचेरे भाई है क्या? एंड आई एम एलिजिंग डायरेक्टली Gautam Adani is proxy of Narendra Modi. The double engine he talks about, the economic engine is Adani, the political engine is Modi.
क्या उनका कुछ लेना देना आबकारी नीति को बनाने में और इम्प्लीमेंट करने में और साउथ के कुछ जगह लाइसेंस देने में कुछ काम था उनका? ये केसीआर और केजरीवाल जी की दोस्ती की वजह ये भी है, ये जो रिश्ता है ना भ्रष्टाचार का, ये बहुत गहरा रिश्ता होता है और ये रिश्ता अपने आप में जो है ये कनेक्शन दोनों का साफ दिखाता है. ये उनका मॉडल है कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म का.
Now, the ED in its multiple documents has actually laid out the network through which they claim the South Group participated in tweaking the Delhi liquor policy to their benefit. According to the statements made by various people who are now arrested in the case through proxies, Kejriwal-Kavitha acquired stakes in the liquor business in Delhi, and as payback, 100 crore rupees were given to the Aam Aadmi Party via communications in charge of the AAP, Vijay Nair. But is there enough evidence to back these claims? Let's examine.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, we have Shazia Elmi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Tushar Gupta, senior editor at Swaraj, Rabula Sridhar Reddy, leader of the BRS, Huda Zariwala, political analyst, and Vivek Bansal, leader of the Congress. Shazia Elmi, is it merely a coincidence that on a year that the elections are going to take place in Telangana, where your party has high stakes, this hamla, as Mr. KTR says, is happening on your principal rival, the BRS? Jumla didn't work, so hamla is being employed. Respond.
Is this the best defense the so-called queen pin of South can come up with? This case has been investigated since the last 9 months and more. The excise policy which was formulated, it seems, keeping in mind the vision of Kejriwal-Kavitha ji and her personal aide and others, and not just implemented in Delhi, but revoked also in soon after, has been investigated upon for a long time. When it comes to Bonam Pillai, her own aide, her own personal aide, who has been arrested, when the link between Sameer Mahendru, when the links with Aurobindo Pharma, when the link with Vijay Nair and Kejriwal-Kavitha and the rest of the accomplices has been established through digital trail, which has been tried, which Aam Aadmi Party and the various accomplices, Sisodia and others, have tried to destroy evidence of.
Okay.
It's all for everybody to see.
Okay, so timing excuse, is that the best that you can come up with, Mr. Reddy?
Of Aurobindo Pharma and Sameer Mahendru and Vijay Nair and Bonam Pillai and the rest of them, and what is the reason to have the policy revoked?
Okay, we'll take this one by one. First, we're talking about the timing. The timing defense does not wash, Mr. Reddy, because the investigation has happened for a year and a half now. Starting with the LG allowing for the prosecution, going up to December when Ms. Kavitha was first questioned, going on to all these arrests being made, 11 arrests made so far, going on to her being questioned now. This has got nothing to do with the elections. It started in 2022.
See, when you're... Padmaja, when your intention is wrong, when you are working with a malified intention, when your aim is to fix the opposition leaders, when your aim is to frame the opposition leaders in these kind of cases without any evidence, no matter whatever the time they take for investigation, this will end up filing false cases on the opposition leaders. Just what happened in this particular case, whether it is Satyendra Jain or Manish Sisodia or today Kavitha ji, in all these, entire case, I don't know. I mean, where is the evidence? There is no evidence found.
Okay, so you're talking about evidence. Let's take this one by one. Let's take this one by one, sir.
The timing is perfect because... One minute.
Timing.
Let's talk about
the timing is perfect in one case.
Since you're talking about timing, 2021 the liquor policy was made,
and the charges.
2022 it was rolled back, and that is when the investigation started.
Padmaja, 1 minute.
And the charge sheet has been submitted now. So the timing is not about when the elections were to happen, it's about when the liquor policy was made.
Different timing. That's what I'm trying to... No, Padmaja, one need to understand, I am talking about a different time, a perfect time for BJP to harass, the opposition leaders. In Telangana, we have assembly elections in 2020, December or so. So wherever elections are there, first Modi, Amit Shah goes, followed by ED, CBI.
So if you're saying that, if you're saying the BRS is being, if you're saying, let's take your argument at face value. Hold on a second. Let's take this on facts, Mr. Reddy. If you are saying that this is being done, keeping Telangana elections in mind, then why is Manish Sisodia arrested? There is no election in Delhi this year, or in Punjab.
That is what this is political vendetta. Where
But
Narendra
sir,
Modi
you said the
sits,
timing
where
is
they are,
always before
running
the
central
election.
government,
There is no
that
election in
particular
Delhi.
state,
Why
they
will they
lost
arrest
twice.
Sisodia?
They did even badly. They did even badly. Padmaja, they did even very badly in MCD elections also. Despite that, they tried for mayoral post.
But
they
they should have
had a
arrested
bitter
Sisodia,
taste
Mr.
in
Sisodia
Delhi,
before the
and
MCD
AAP
election.
and BRS are the
You
parties
are
today
contradicting yourself,
questioning
Mr.
very
Reddy.
strongly.
You are contradicting. Okay,
They
so hold on a
tried.
second.
They tried. They could
you
not.
are saying Mr. Sisodia is
They tried.
arrested
They tried.
because of anger after losing, and Ms. Kavitha has been questioned out of spite before they go to elections.
Of course.
No, for a moment.
Okay.
Just to threaten us, just to intimidate us. But we are not a party like that.
Theory of political vendetta and victimization. So my humble request to you, sir, and you can communicate it to the so-called alleged queen pin of the Liqourgate, the lady herself, that, you know, the least you could, if you were really so worried that the center or the agencies would come after you.
We will also communicate it to King of Adani scam.
Isn't it simple?
We will also try to communicate the same to the King of Adani scam.
Look at, why did you give 100 crores? Why did you give 100 crores and allow for all the licenses to be given to the liquor mafia in South? It's very simple. Sir, do not indulge in corruption. ED cannot come after you, even if they want to. Do you get it? It's very basic.
Respond. Why did you give 100
and
crores?
Explain the link. Please explain the link between Indo Spirit
talking about corruption.
and Vijay Nair.
Okay,
and
one by one.
What were your ladies? What was your lady who is now again I say the queen pin of Liqourgate?
Okay. What did I charge to? Why did you give 100 crores? Why did you give 100 crores? And let me actually supplement that with some facts. Hold on a second. Mr. Reddy, question number 2 is about why did you give the money? Now, so far you have said the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS have said there is no evidence of any money trail. Interestingly, there is actually talk of a money trail when the CBI has said, and I quote, 16.16, investigation revealed that in pursuance to the said conspiracy, money amounting to 20 to 30 crores was sent to Shri Vijay Nair and his team between July to September 2021 through Hawala channels. Not just that, the CBI has specified, sir, how this money transaction happened. Shri Abhishek Boinpalli used to call Shri Dinesh Arora and tell him a phone number and currency note number which he used to forward to the team of Vijay Nair and inform Shri Vijay Nair. That is how money was transferred from Abhishek Boinpalli to Vijay Nair.
Allow me to speak.
CBI has said. Go on, Mr. Reddy. Why was this money transacted?
Allow me to speak, Padmaja. When entire case is framed, when entire case is falsely implicated, these numbers, statements will automatically come in and we will face in the court of law. We have the respect for the judiciary and we will fight out legally and tomorrow we will come out clean.
So face
and
them, sir.
you know, Shajia Ilmiji talking about corruption. Can I show you an example of classic corruption?
No, that's a question.
Encouraging corrupt leaders.
Answer the question.
Give me 30 seconds.
Sisodia was not able to answer these.
This is not fair. I have to speak.
Okay, one at a time.
I didn't come in between.
Hold on a second. So here's the thing. Can I have silence for 20 seconds? Mr. Reddy, for very long, because this case is so convoluted and spreads across states, nobody is answering to specifics. You are saying all of this is trumped up. I am showing you evidence which has been appended by the CBI and ED, which is in black and white. For example, and let me bring in, hold on a second, let me bring in Huda Zariwala. The second thing, you haven't been able to answer me. Specific charge and trail of 20 to 30 crores have been made and the people between which the transaction took place. I so far haven't got a reply as to why this money was transacted between Abhishek Boinpalli and Vijay Nair and via Dinesh Arora. No answer to that. The second point that I'm going to ask you about, Huda Zariwala, one thing that connects people in the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS, both of whom are either accused or have been arrested, is what the ED has called large-scale destruction of evidence. How? This is what the ED says. At least 36 accused suspects involved in the excise scam have destroyed or used 170 phones. Fortunately, the ED has been able to recover 17 out of 170 phones. Otherwise, the kickbacks could have been much more, and involvement of other important persons would have surfaced more clearly. Now, what are these phones who have been traced by the Enforcement Directorate? And these are numbers. So they can be tracked. This is not something which is up in the air. Who are the people? The people are Manish Sisodia, Kailash Gehlot, Sunny Marwa, Kulvinder Marwa, Vijay Nair, and also people in the so-called South lobby like Abhishek Boinpalli, Buchi Babu Gorantala, Sharath Reddy, and Miss Kavitha herself. Can you explain to me why is it that 36 people who have been listed here by the Enforcement Directorate all changed their phones or their SIM cards immediately as the investigation started? Isn't that too much of a coincidence that Hyderabad से लेके दिल्ली तक सब लोगों ने अपने फोन तोड़ने शुरू कर दिए जैसे ही इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हुआ? Why? Did they suddenly get bored of their old phones?
Well, good evening, Padmaja ji. Thank you so much for having me on your show. To begin with, at this point in time, let us also reinstate the fact that in the first charge sheet and then the second charge sheet that was filed, Manish Sisodia ji's name has not been mentioned. This is clearly indicating that whatever is going on against him, the entire malified intentions of the BJP are a clear case of political vendetta. Now that being said, changing of phones
it only indicates that the ED and the CBI have another 90 days to file their charge sheet. Point number one. Point number two, we have gone and beaten around the bush for far too long.
So
I am asking you a specific question. Why is it that Manish Sisodia on the 12th of September has destroyed a phone, on the 14th of October, on the 5th of September, on the 22nd of August, on the 5th of October, on the 7th of October, of the 12th of October? These are all numbers over here. And in those same months, you also have Miss Kavitha changing her numbers, and all of them are also listed over here. There are at least 6 plus 4, 10 numbers / SIM cards which have been changed. Why? Why this coincidence?
So changing your phones, changing your numbers is clearly not a political or even a criminal offense. Number one, I mean, even if 100 phones were changed by each person involved, it is not a criminal offense unless and until something is found against these individuals. Number one. Number two, Kavitha ji has clearly mentioned on record that she has never met Manish Sisodia ji. Kavitha ji stated on record.
So let's break this down. It's not a criminal offense. Hold on a second. Let's talk specifics and bring in Tushar Gupta. Sure, it's not a criminal offense, but it does seem a little suspicious that in the case of Miss Kavitha, 2 numbers were changed and the handset IMEI of 1 number was changed 6 times in 4 months. 6 times? Aisa kya ho gaya? Suddenly you are like, I don't like this number. I will change it 6 times in 4 months after the investigation starts.
And
it's not a crime.
And yet this doesn't prove any sort of criminal offense against him. This proves no criminal offense against him.
It doesn't.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, and while all this is going on, we're talking about
Padmaja.
It proves nothing. But you know why this is suspicious? And Tushar Gupta will tell you why. Because the majority of these phones were changed right from the day. You know when these SIM cards were changed, ma'am? Right from the day that a police complaint was made by the LG to the CBI, and the maximum destruction happened within 5 months. Today the complaint happened, within 5 months these numbers were changed. Now it's not a crime, Tushar Gupta. Maybe there was just a new iPhone model that released at that time and everyone said, why the hell not?
Padmaja,
let's all change our phones.
But again, where was
Padmaja, or maybe,
ma'am, one at a time. Tushar Gupta is answering your question and then come back. Yes, go on. Tushar Gupta.
I agree with my fellow co-panelist here, Padmaja. It's not a criminal offense to change your phone 6 times or your number 6 times in 4 months. Maybe Sisodia and company were running a telephone exchange. Maybe they had plans to start a telecom company. We don't know. I mean, one can change their phone 100 times in a month. The problem is when you start destroying those phones. Why would you destroy those numbers? Why would you destroy all the records? And that is what the CBI is asking. You change your phone, you change your numbers. We don't care. Why are you destroying the evidence? And it's also a very smart coincidence that the BRS spokesperson here was not talking about Kavitha being a part of the investigation. He immediately concluded that perhaps she is guilty and this is all a part of political vendetta. You know, Padmaja, the funniest part, be it the Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress or the BRS or even TMC, every time one of their leaders is called into investigation, they immediately assume guilt. Not once do they think that they might be involved in the investigation or maybe to aid the investigative agencies. No, they might be guilty right away.
Why would you destroy your phones? I mean, sure, you would want a new phone, but most people try and, sell it online. You won't destroy your phone. Who does Ariwala? Respond to that. And then I'm coming back to you, Mr. Reddy. Why were these phones destroyed and digital evidence was deleted? Before destroying them, digital evidence was deleted from them. Why? Who does Ariwala?
So let us wait for the final verdict. Manish Sisodia
ji is
already
when I ask you about
in
the
case,
jail. You give certificates of innocence. When you ask you about specifics, then you are saying let the evidence be tried by court. So how are you giving a certificate of innocence if the matter is still being tried by court?
Okay, Padmaja ji, tell me.
Padmaja.
I'd like to just ask you one thing, one thing. If in fact something is actually found in those phones, even with the destroyed digital evidence, as is so claimed by the BJP,
by the ED,
shall be proven. I mean, if there's any offence against
by the agencies,
it will
not by
come
the
in the
BJP,
notice
by the agencies,
of the
by the
CBI.
investigating agencies. Let's not mislead the audience.
At the end of the day, Manish Sisodia ji's home, his village, his bank accounts, everything, absolutely everything was searched to the T. Has anything yet been proven against him? Was his name even there in the charge sheet? I repeat my statement to begin with.
Okay, answer that.
Let me answer that, Padmaja,
because this has frankly been stated repeatedly and reasoned repeatedly, but answer it again, Tushar Gupta. Answer this.
Let me break it down, Padmaja, as I would break it down for a kindergarten kid. The liquor policy scam had a lot of layers, that of kickbacks, that of benefiting large companies at the cost of smaller companies, that of reducing the government's margin, that of increasing the margin of the wholesalers. Now, if someone is saying that if you have not found any money at Manish Sisodia's property, that's a validation for him not being guilty. That is not what the case is all about. And even if you believe so that strongly, why did the Aam Aadmi Party and its legal team, when they approached the Supreme Court on day 2, did not cite the violation of fundamental rights? Why in the Supreme Court did they say that Manish Sisodia is open to all sorts of questioning, all sorts of investigation, when you are going to sit here and say, oh, it's political vendetta, oh, there is no evidence, oh, there is no scam. So on one side, the Aam Aadmi Party admits there is a problem in the court before the Apex Court of India. On the other side, the spokespersons sitting on national television before esteemed anchors say, oh, there is no scam, there is no evidence, there is no money, this is all made up, this is all imaginary.
And
how
Mr.
does
Reddy,
this contradiction work
and
out?
Mr. Reddy, two things have already been spoken of: the exchange of money, the destruction of evidence. Point number 3 is the statement of people who've been arrested and Dinesh Arora, who has turned approver. Let me quote to you the statement of Dinesh Arora, which was made on the 3rd of October 2022. Here is what Mr. Arora says. He met Ms. Kavitha twice. Agenda of the meeting that took place at Oberoi Maidens, Delhi, wherein Shri Dinesh, Shri Vijay Nair, Shri Arun Pillai and Ms. Kavitha were present. The approver is saying Ms. Kavitha was present in that meeting. The agenda was to discuss Delhi liquor business and the issue of recovery of advance kickbacks paid to Vijay Nair.
Padmaja,
mind you, this man is an approver.
Let the trial happen.
He's an approver.
Let the trial happen. Listen. Padmaja, there are two things I want to say. Give me time.
So let the trial happen.
Seconds. Let the trial happen. The fact will come out. These are all statements. Number one. Number two, my advocate friend, Mr. Gupta is saying, how can you say political vendetta whenever you call a opposition leader, you say political vendetta? Why? Because we say these probe agencies are biased when they come to the opposition leaders and when they go to the ruling party leaders. I'll just give you a classic example of this. Just give me 30 seconds. In 2018, is an ANI tweet
I'll come
saying
to
that Mr. CM Ramesh,
let him finish.
CM Ramesh, Rajya Sabha member was raided by IT department. Then ED says they have raided at 6 places of Mr. YS Chowdhury, then Rajya Sabha member, and they claimed 120 shell companies formed, 6,000 crores defrauded of the banks. Then Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao of Rajya Sabha, of BJP spokesperson, he says these are Andhra Malyas, defrauded banks, evaded hundreds crores of taxes. This is 2018. Now look at June 2019. June 2019, these two MPs have joined BJP under the leadership of Honorable Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah, and immediately you can see them sitting with the Prime Minister of this country, smiling in his office. और प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने बोला, शाबाश बेटा, आपने बीजेपी में ज्वाइन किया, आपने हरिश्चंद्र का फर्स्ट कजिन बन गए. Why these two MPs have not been called till date? Why the probe is not happening? ED tweeted 6,000 crores defrauded of the banks.
What is I'm asking you.
No, he has a point. I will tell you what the question is. Shazia Ilmi, every time you go with any solid evidence, the agencies put together evidence, and the moment there is a political motivation, Mr. Virupakshappa, he doesn't get dismissed from the Bharatiya Janata Party. 8 crores are recovered from him and his son. Then you've got these two MPs who suddenly are in the clear when they join the BJP. You don't help your cause when this kind of partisanship is shown.
Look at them.
The people begin to believe the worst.
The Prime Minister.
Have you seen?
I
want to answer that. So, first
why is
of all,
Mr. Virupakshappa,
I can give you a list of
still in the Bharatiya Janata Party? It's a big mystery.
I will be tweeting it so everybody can see it. Whose houses and businesses have been raided. Now you're talking about the Karnataka case, which is all for everybody to see. Have you seen any BJP leader or spokesperson?
That doesn't matter. The man is still in the BJP. It is self-defeating. The man is still in the BJP.
No, it matters. It matters because
in
there is going
cash.
to be a case and nobody will be absolved.
He has not been suspended.
Nobody will be absolved. But it does not take away from the fact.
He was given
it does not take away from the fact there was blatant corruption.
Padmaja, the fact
and I want to tell both the spokespersons of these wonderful parties, the best way to prevent ED coming after you is not to engage in corruption.
Okay, that is equally applicable to a lot of people who suddenly did seem in the clear and haven't been called by the enforcement directorate once they joined the BJP, which is why I said there is a confidence deficit. But
a huge criminal offence.
Fair enough, but there is still a confidence deficit. Vivek Bansal, the most curious stand in all of this is taken by the Congress. Do you believe that the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS have questions to answer because they are calling it vendetta? In the case of Rahul Gandhi, you also said you were being victimized. But in the case of Ms. Kavitha, you are calling it a just investigation. How is that?
Well, thank you so very much, Padmaja ji. I thought I was not in the panel discussion, but then you had been kind enough to let me...
I apologize for the delay, sir, but let's be fair. The Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS are in the hot seat right now. So they got maximum lion's share. But go on. You get the lion's share when National Herald happens. So go on.
Okay, so let me just say that as far as these people are being and why parties being silent on this issue, it's fair and simple. These Aam Aadmi people had been, came with a very loud principles and all and wearing honesty on their sleeves. And time and again, Mr. Kejriwal had been, talking as if he's the conscious keeper of the society or the political governance as such. But this has exposed them to the T. Definitely, I would like to say these sort of cases are happening time and again. As far as ED prosecution is concerned, we don't have any objection to that. and particularly, and we believe that we have a...
No kidding, you don't have any objection when it's happening to Mr. Sisodia and when it's happening to the BRS? Now you don't have a problem. You had a problem when it happened in the case of National Herald, when it happened in the case of other Congress leaders. How is that?
I've been coming to your question as well.
But Mr. Gandhi literally just said in London that all the agencies have been subverted and democracy has been dead. Now are you testing the ED?
No.
But democracy is dead.
There is other side of the point, which all the panelists had been talking about. It is that when it comes to their own party people,
that is fine. That is fine. But either the ED is subverted or the ED is honest. If the ED is subverted, then you cannot trust what they are saying about Ms. Kavitha.
Listen, Padmaja. BJP is ruling in almost majority of the states of this country, and we all are surprised that they have all the saints in the party. There is no dishonesty, there is no corruption.
Right.
When it comes to Mr. Adani,
maybe in the same way that Mr. Adani, who's a villain and who is cornering all the wealth, also seems to be cornering a lot of business in Congress-ruled states. But anyhow, I think it is amply...
This reflects Congress tends to go, whosoever can make good investment or give...
Right. Of course. In all the Congress-ruled states, Adani is making the best investments. In all the other states, he is only farming off public's money. Anyhow, I think ultimately, most of these cases are in court. And like one thing everyone has been unanimous on, is that if the evidence stands up in a court of law, there is nothing anyone can do about it except accept what the evidence is dictating. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, Huda Zariwala, Shazia Elmi, for joining me. In fact, on the other side, we are joined by Ms. K. Kavitha at a time that she is championing the Women's Reservation Bill. She is also going to be quizzed in 48 hours from now by the Enforcement Directorate. She says the two are linked. Let's find out how. All right, joining us on the channel, we have Ms. K. Kavitha. Ma'am, thank you very much for speaking to us. I want to start at the outset by asking you about the developments of the day, where today the Enforcement Directorate arrested Mr. Manish Sisodia. Do you fear that the same could happen to you or there could be any action against you once you are questioned on Saturday?
I have no idea what the agency has in mind. Whatever comes to it, we will certainly explore all the legal options available, and we have done nothing wrong, and we will continue to fight. We are very transparent. They've asked us to appear. We are going to appear, and we are going to answer to all the questions to the best of our capacity.
Do you think that you will get the kind of support? You have spoken out in support of Manish Sisodia, but do you think that other political parties, even those who are participating with you at Jantar Mantar for the Women's Reservation Bill, are also going to support you in this case?
Let us see, because we have just seen 9 political parties coming together, writing and condemning the excesses done by the current Bharatiya Janata Party government on the opposition parties.
More specifically, ma'am, there seems to be, while you're saying that these are excesses committed by the central agencies, all parties seem to be speaking in different voices. For example, today the Congress in Delhi lashed out not just at the Aam Aadmi Party, but also against you, saying that there is a definite corruption that has happened in the liquor policy probe. What would you say to the Congress?
Ma'am, this is an investigation that is ongoing. If any party believes that I am corrupt, let them believe so, but I will, to my extent, to my capacity, will answer the agencies, and I know in my heart and my people know that I have done nothing wrong, so we will face them. The issue here is that, ma'am, let the agencies do whatever they want to do. We need to talk about progressive bills like Women Reservation Bill, and I was told that Times Now is interested in speaking about the women. That is why I am online today. If you are not interested, ma'am, we can continue the conversation after I attend the ED.
No, absolutely, ma'am. It's a very, very important cause that you are championing as far as the Women's Reservation Bill is concerned. But because at present the immediate focus on you is because of the questioning that you are saying you're going to cooperate with on Saturday. More specifically, I wanted to ask.
That is day after, ma'am. Women's reservation bill is tomorrow.
Yes. Do you think that all of these parties together are also going to be demanding accountability from the central agencies in addition to the women's reservation bill?
No, tomorrow the focus will be only on women's reservation bill, and I believe Bharatiya Janata Party has a huge mandate and a historic opportunity to pass the women's reservation bill. And I just want to remind you, ma'am, 1996 the bill was introduced, the discussion first started in this country. From then till date, every Prime Minister tried to table the bill except Mr. Modi. So we want to remind Mr. Modi about his manifesto promise, and when he first time entered into the parliament, he touched the steps of the parliament, and in his first speech he said, one of the first bills that I will ever introduce will be women's reservation bill. But it has been 9 years, it has not happened. Every Women's Day we reminded them in the parliament, every other stage we reminded them of the parliament, but the bill has not even taken up, and not even the drafting of the bill has begun. So my earnest request through Times Now to Honorable Prime Minister ji and Honorable Rashtrapati ji is to introduce the bill at least in this session or next session, because these are the last 2 sessions of this government.
More specifically, since we are talking about the women's reservation bill, do you think by and large there has been a bipartisan lack of interest in the bill? Irrespective of who's in government, mostly people have paid lip service, whether it was the UPA, the 2 terms that the UPA had, or whether it has been the last 9 years. Would you genuinely say that anyone's interested in the women's reservation bill?
Well, that is the effort we are making to make them interested in the whole process, because this is election year. I'm really hoping the pressure will be there on the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we will try and gather as much support as from every other party and from the social activists and also from the women activists who have earlier worked for the bill. I immensely thank them, and we are gathering their support to build up the pressure on the government.
Now, since you said that the moment you announced this dharna for women's reservation bill, that's when the ED has swept in. But ma'am, isn't it also a fact that in December last year also you were questioned on the same issue, that time as a witness, and this case has been going on since the beginning of last year when the prosecution sanction was given by the Lieutenant Governor. So can the timing of the two be connected?
Timing of the Telangana election and the targeting of the Telangana political leaders has started 8 months back. Generally, it has been the precedent and the orientation of the Bharatiya Janata Party government to go into any state which is poll bound, and 1.5 years they torture and trouble and target the opposition leader and business people who are opposing Bharatiya Janata Party and raising their voice against them. That has been their trend, so that is what they are doing in Telangana. But Telangana is made of different material. We are fighters. We've come out of a movement-oriented party. So we will fight with them. We will make sure we tell our people, explain it to our people that we've done nothing wrong, but we are political victims of Bharatiya Janata Party.
More specifically, ma'am, will you categorically say that you do not know or have never had any communication with Mr. Arun Ramchandran Pillai?
Ma'am, I will have to say this thing again, that tomorrow let's talk about the women's reservation bill. Day after, when I attend the ED and come back, we can sit and talk about ED and the case related issues as much as you want. You have given me prime time. I really want it for the women, ma'am. My sincere request again, please reach out to everybody, every political party. Please, tomorrow, our voice, please air it. We really need support from you right now.
Absolutely, that is a cause that I feel very strongly for, and I definitely think that should be given voice. But if I may just ask you a final question related to the investigation, let me quote to you what Mr. Pillai has said in his statement before the Enforcement Directorate, and he said that there was a deal between Ms. Kavitha, MLC in Telangana, and the Aam Aadmi Party, wherein the exchange of kickbacks paid to the tune of 100 crore rupees, Ms. Kavitha got access to the Delhi liquor business, specifically stakes in L1, that is Indo Spirits. Why do you think Mr. Pillai has made the link between you, Mr. Sisodia, and the Delhi liquor policy?
Ma'am, you know the way the agency functions. I would like to bring to your notice that in this case, related to this case, There is a gentleman who's filed a case in the Telangana High Court saying that agency has beaten him up and his eardrum is broken, and it is he's sought a lot of protection. Then there is another gentleman who's filed a case in the Telangana High Court as well, saying that from the time they picked him up, arrested him, they've been only troubling him to give political names, and he said this is nothing but a political case, and he wanted a quash of the whole case and arrest of his. So ultimately, in conclusion, I would like to say this is political victimization. They are trying to trouble, force, coerce, and do a lot of things to various people in my state. We will stand with those people, and we will stand against a government which is using agencies to scuttle political opposition.
Are you saying that these statements are being extracted under coercion or duress by the Enforcement Directorate?
Very much possible, but I cannot really comment on that because वापस एक और केस तोप देंगे, फिर मुझे अदालत के चक्कर काटने पड़ेंगे. But my sincere request to you, there are a lot of excesses done by various agencies, not only in my state but in every state. So people should kindly understand that, and people should give the support to the opposition parties.
Sure, but here's the thing, whenever there is any case that is carried out against non-BJP parties, usually the reasoning given is that this is vendetta or this is victimization. However, ma'am, in your own government, when the case of the MLA poaching was investigated by the SIT, it is the High Court of Telangana which called out an unfair investigation by your SIT and police. And the BJP, coincidentally, there called it victimization, because there it was no one less than the RSS organizing secretary who was named as one of the accused. So when the shoe is on the other foot, it becomes an investigation.
Thank you so much
and
for asking this question.
Victimization.
Because when the SIT called, yes ma'am, exactly. When the SIT called Mr. B.L. Santosh to appear, he did not even appear. If a person doesn't even appear, where is the victimization or where is the manhandling? Today ED is asking me to appear, ma'am, and I am appearing. I am not running away from appearing. If the ED does any excess, of course we'll go to court. But without even appearing, infringing on the state's right, CBI has taken over the courts, taken over the SIT. So my simple point is here, you and I can sit and debate about various issues here, but let us not divert the attention from Women Reservation Bill. Let us kindly talk about it, because day after when I go to ED, if you want me to come to discussion, I'll come to discussion. We will discuss about it. But today, let us stay focused on the Women Reservation Bill and garner as much support as we can.
Okay. Finally, let me ask you, do you want to give an appeal?
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you want to... All right. Ms. Kavitha, thank you very much. We will definitely take you up on your offer to speak to us on Saturday.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So. Thank you.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे. अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स. ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा. Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. गाइज, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है. जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है. जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा. इनसाइड द बॉक्स यू गेट दिस लिटिल पेपर बॉक्स एज वेल, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है. लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको. यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है. यहाँ पर फोन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल, विच इज वेरी बेसिक. अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस, जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं. उफ, वेरी
News Hour at 10.
Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi took charge as Delhi ministers today. Atishi gets education, PWD, power and tourism portfolios. Bharadwaj gets health, water and industries along with urban development. BJP leaders protest against the law and order situation in Punjab. Protesters allege lawlessness in AAP's regime. Kiran Rijiju says Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for unity of India, says Gandhi Sign had crossed all limits in attempting to tarnish India's image on foreign soil. Rajnath minister's son slams Rahul Gandhi, says don't insult Bharat in another nation's parliament. BRS leader KT Rama Rao slams BJP, says ED, IT, CBI have become puppets in the hands of centre. AAP MP Sanjay Singh fires big allegation against BJP, says BJP conspiring to kill Sisodia in jail. Row over freebies continues. Voters reject freebies given by BJP National General Secretary CT Ravi. Free sarees burned.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स लाइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है। व्हील बेस के हिसाब से कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आ रहा है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10.
AAP MP Sanjay Singh fires big allegation against BJP, says BJP conspiring to kill Sisodia in jail. Row over freebies continues. Voters reject freebies given by BJP National General Secretary CT Ravi. Free sarees burnt. Probe teams conduct raids in Bihar in connection with Prayagraj murder case. Search for shooter Arman and Guddu continues. Actor, director and comedian Satish Kaushik suffers a fatal heart attack, breathes his last at the age of 66. Navy's op-level exercises Tropex 2023 concludes after 4 months. It saw 70 Indian naval ships, 6 submarines and over 75 aircraft in action.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं Mohul, who's founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. सो इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं.
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
सो एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का हूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है. इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है. सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया है एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ? हाउ
So when we in 2019 when we were starting out, we spoke to a lot of consumers. Electric bike क्यों नहीं खरीदते? In 2019 there were only a handful of players who were giving motorcycles as a product, and what we realized is that motorcycling is emotion driven. You name your bike, you work with it, you control it, you become one with your bike. And from there, the common theme came, control नहीं मिल रहा, feel नहीं आ रही. And obviously, once we started translating कि हमें क्या सुनाई दे रहा है और customer को क्या चाहिए, and we've spoken to over 500 customers on this. Clear indication, gear तो चाहिए. And that's when we said कि let's make something that the consumers truly want. ऐसा नहीं कि जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उसी को वापस पैकेज करके दे देते हैं. लेट्स मेक इट. तो वहाँ से व्हेन द जर्नी स्टार्टेड, वी हैड टू मेक आवर ओन मोटर्स, वी हैड टू मेक द गियर बॉक्सेस, द बैटरीज, द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, द एंटायर व्हीकल फ्रॉम स्क्रैच.
एंड नोबडी वुड हैव, आई बिलीव नोबडी वुड हैव थॉट ऑफ जितने भी ईवीज टू व्हीलर्स इंडिया में अब आ रहे हैं, ये गियर वाला किसी ने, आई थिंक
वी आर द फर्स्ट इन इंडिया टू हैव एक्चुअली पुट गियर्स ऑन अ इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक और एन इलेक्ट्रिक टू व्हीलर.
सो आई मीन ये एक चीज़ है जो स्टैंड आउट करती है मैटर को बाकी सभी ईवीज या और भी जो ब्रांड्स ऑलरेडी मौजूद हैं मार्केट में. इसके अलावा आई हैव सीन वहाँ पे एक कॉन्सेप्ट खड़ा है, एंड देयर इज़ वन कॉन्सेप्ट ओवर देयर, एंड दिस वन आई रियली लव इट राइट नाउ. आई होप ये जिस शेप में है एटलीस्ट 70-80% इसका ये शेप वैसे का ही जब फाइनली प्रोडक्शन वर्जन में देखने को मिलेगा.
डेफिनेटली.
सो इन दोनों को लेके आपका क्या प्लान है, एंड व्हाट उसका पर्पस क्या है, इसका पर्पस क्या है, यू कैन प्लीज.
सो डेफिनेटली. सो while the Matter motorbike sits in the 150-200 cc range of vehicle, we wanted to, in line with our vision of accelerating India to electric, we also wanted to create mass market products, and that is where, let's call it the sub 150 cc, because exact cc to electric powertrain.
Right now you're calling this EXC concept.
This is the concept EXC. So the concept EXC and the concept UT both are built on the same platform. Both come with swappable batteries. Both can be, so both are very flexible platforms which allow you to accessorize it a lot, change it to the way which is suited to you as a consumer best. Both of them are connected platforms. In that sense, they are very, I'll call them younger siblings of the Matter motorbike. But coming down to the swapping technology, एक बैटरी भी लगा सकते हो, 2 बैटरी भी लगा सकते हो, बट अगर स्वैपिंग स्टेशन पास में नहीं है तो रेगुलर 5 एम्प के सॉकेट से गाड़ी को चार्ज भी कर सकते हो. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि स्वैप ही करना पड़ेगा.
You can also charge it at home.
You can charge it at home. You can swap it.
And also
now comes the last piece in the ecosystem for us is we have done a partnership with Luminous Power Technologies, the leading inverter manufacturers, and
home dock को लेके.
And we've created the home dock. The home dock is essentially, it's a very fancy looking piece of power solutions unit, and जो गाड़ी की swappable battery है, you can actually carry it home and charge it in your home also. But now the best part.
And how many batteries can you fit in there?
2 can be fit in there. Now the best part, if you lose power in your house, the same home dock can actually act like an inverter and power your house from the same batteries you took from the vehicle.
That's really cool.
So this for us is the ecosystem. So the home dock, concept EXE, concept UT, and the swapping station. This is our future roadmap in terms of where we are looking at in terms of next mobility products. So all of these will be out on the market in less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years.
Before the next Auto Expo, we will be there. So those will be here at next Auto Expo.
And also, I mean, first time जब Matter bike unveil हुई थी, we saw it for the first time. उसके बाद किस तरह का रिस्पांस आपको कस्टमर्स की तरफ से या जो भी आपके फ्यूचर कस्टमर्स हैं उनकी तरफ से किस तरह का रिस्पांस रहा है, फीडबैक आपको देखने को मिला है?
Response has been phenomenal, and the reason is that with the right connectivity solutions, navigation, call control, music control, the liquid cooling technology which is cooling the battery pack, the electronics, the motor and the gearbox, apart from the looks and the styling, consumers find this to be the bike that they have been asking for the longest time, because electric vehicles have been here for about 15 years in India, and this is the first time that they are finding something that really resonates with them. Something that has really solved their pain point, solved their need, and with the flexibility to do whatever you want. I mean, this vehicle is also charged off a 5 amp socket. We have showcased the fast chargers as well. Now the consumers are waiting for us, and as I said, this quarter we'll be starting to take bookings, and summer you will have these in the hands of the consumers this year.
So one last question, it's personal. When can we get our hands on this? When are we going to test try and experience the matter bike?
You're happy to come down to Ahmedabad whenever you like to, and we'll let you run this. But what I would ask for you today here at the Auto Expo is, there's a vehicle at the back. We have a dyno here.
On the dyno, yeah.
But do give the gearbox a try. It's an experience you're never going to forget.
Okay, so I'm going to try it now.
That'd be great.
तो आइए देखते हैं इस बॉक्स के अंदर आपको क्या क्या दिखाई देगा। यहाँ पे आपको सबसे पहले दिखेगी इन्फिनिक्स की बॉटल, जहां पर जिन्होंने इनके साथ कोलैबोरेट किया है मार्वल स्टूडियोज की ब्रांडिंग भी दिखाई देगी। जल्दी से दिखा देते हैं कि बॉटल कैसी दिख रही है। तो इस तरीके की स्टील की बॉटल आपको मिलती है, साथ में फ्रिज मैग्नेट। आई थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ ट्रेजर बॉक्स फॉर ऑल द मार्वल लवर्स। यहाँ पे आपको कुछ कार्ड्स दिखाई देंगे। गाइस, क्या हमें इन कार्ड्स के साथ गिव अवेज करना चाहिए या नहीं, कमेंट बॉक्स में बताइए। द आंसर इज नो। हा हा हा। और यहाँ पे आपको मिलता है स्मार्टफोन का रिटेल बॉक्स। ये कवर है बहुत ही खूबसूरत सा, जिसपे लिखा है इन्फिनिक्स 05G इन कोलैबोरेशन विद मार्वल स्टूडियोज। तो काफी ही ट्रिपी है, बहुत अमेजिंग सा लग रहा है, मार्वल फैंस को बहुत पसंद आने वाला है। टाडा! और यहाँ पे आपको मिलता है इन्फिनिक्स 05G 2023 एडिशन। अब करेंगे इसको अनबॉक्स। अब शुरू करते हैं इन्फिनिक्स 05G की अनबॉक्सिंग। सबसे पहले लगाएंगे धांसू सा कट। बॉक्स इसका काफी रेगुलर सा है, जो कि आपने देखा होगा इन्फिनिक्स के बाकी के स्मार्टफोन्स के साथ। पीछे की ओर आपको बहुत सारे यहाँ पर इसके फीचर्स दिखाई देंगे। यहाँ पे जैसे कि आपको मिलता है MediaTek Dimensity 10805G चिपसेट। उसी के साथ आपको मिलता है अल्ट्रा स्मूथ 120 हर्ट्ज रिफ्रेश रेट, 50 MP का ट्रिपल रेयर कैमरा सिस्टम, साथ में यूनिकर्व डिजाइन इस फोन पे आपको दिखाई देगा। और अगर बैटरी की बात करें तो ये फोन में आएगा 5000 mAh बैटरी कैपेसिटी विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ 33 वॉट सुपर फास्ट चार्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी। अब इसको भी यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा कट लगा देते हैं जल्दी से, और देखते हैं कि बॉक्स के इस रिटेल बॉक्स में यूजर्स को क्या क्या मिल सकता है। सबसे पहले जो आपको दिखाई देगा वो ऑफ कोर्स है हैंडसेट, और यहाँ पे मुझे बहुत ही वाइब्रेंट सा ऑरेंज कलर दिखाई दे रहा है। बहुत ही डिफरेंट है गाइज, मैंने इतना वाइब्रेंट कलर अभी तक तो यूज नहीं किया है। लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट्स कि आपको इस कलर के बारे में क्या लगता है। इट्स वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी। यहाँ पर आपको कंपनी की ब्रांडिंग दिखाई दे रही है। जैसे कि मैंने पहले बताया था, दिस स्मार्टफोन ऑफर्स 3 कैमराज ऑन द बैक। टेक्सचर्ड और रेयर पैनल है, बहुत सारा टेक्सचर है, मैट फिनिशिंग के साथ आता है, विच मीन्स दिस पैनल इज गोइंग टू रेजिस्ट फिंगरप्रिंट्स एंड स्मजेस। उसी तरीके से अगर हम सामने की ओर चलें, फोन को स्टार्ट करते हैं और साइड रखते हैं। पहले मैं आपको दिखा देती हूँ कि बॉक्स के अंदर आपको और क्या क्या मिलता है। इतने हमारा स्मार्टफोन शुरू हो रहा है। यहाँ पे आपको मिलेगी चार्जिंग ब्रिक, जिसपे इन्फिनिक्स की ब्रांडिंग है। तो ये रहा, आपको चार्जिंग ब्रिक मिलेगी। साथ में आपको मिलेगा एक USB-C केबल। आई रियली लाइक द ऑरेंज एक्सेंट दैट यू गेट इनसाइड लाइक विद द केबल। दिस एक्चुअली कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स द स्मार्टफोन एज वेल। तो यहाँ पे भी ऑरेंज एक्सेंट्स आपको दिखाई दे रहे होंगे। इसको भी साइड में रखते हैं। बॉक्स की बाकी चीजों में आपको मिलता है सम पेपर वर्क, जैसे कि यूजर मैनुअल एंड अदर थिंग्स। इसको साइड रखते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत पैसा काम आ सके तो। और साथ में मैंडेटरी चीज, एंड दैट इज अ प्रोटेक्टिव केस। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, तो इसको हमेशा अपने फोन पे इस्तेमाल करिए। इसको भी साइड में रखते हैं। और सिम इजेक्टर टूल, अपनी सिम को इंसर्ट करने के लिए। So these are the basic things that you get inside the box. अगर फोन के बारे में थोड़ा बात करनी है तो पहले मुझे टेबल को क्लियर करने दो। टेबल क्लियर हो चुका है, फोन शुरू हो चुका है, तो आइए जानते हैं फोन के बारे में। डिस्प्ले की बात करें तो यहाँ पे जो साइड बेजल्स हैं वो काफी ही थिन है, बट यू ऑल्सो गेट अ थिक चिन। तो व्यूइंग एक्सपीरियंस इस पे कितना अच्छा होने वाला है वो हमें पता चलेगा जब इस पे कंटेंट बिंज करेंगे। सामने की ओर आपको मिलता है पंच होल कैमरा। इसके अलावा एक बार चेकआउट करते हैं इसका कैमरा ऐप। यहाँ पे आपको डिफरेंट टाइप के मोड्स दिखाई देंगे, फिल्म, वीडियो, AI, ब्यूटी, पोर्ट्रेट, सुपर नाइट एंड मोर। ये था डिस्प्ले के बारे में। दिस स्मार्टफोन ऑल्सो कम्स विद 120 Hz रिफ्रेश रेट, विच मीन्स द एनिमेशंस एंड द स्क्रॉलिंग इज गोइंग टू बी सुपर स्मूथ ऑन दिस स्मार्टफोन। ब्लोटवेयर की बात करें तो मुझे यहाँ पर कुछ अननेसेसरी एप्स दिखाई दे रही हैं, बट आई रियली होप दैट यू कैन अनइंस्टॉल दैम इफ यू वांट टू। जैसे कि ये वाली, देयर वाज दिस रैंडम ऐप बूम प्ले, जिसको अनइंस्टॉल करने का ऑप्शन है। सो दिस नीड्स टू बी डन मैन्युअली, ये यूजर्स को करना पड़ेगा। इसके अलावा इसके लुक्स और डिजाइन की थोड़ी सी अगर और बात करें तो रेयर पैनल की हमने काफी बात कर ली है। साइड में भी आपको हल्का सा गोल्डन या ऑरेंज एक्सेंट का फ्रेम दिखाई देगा, जस्ट टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट द ओवरऑल स्मार्टफोन। फ्रेम के राइट साइड पे आपको दिखाई देगा पावर बटन, विच इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू एक्ट एज अ फिंगरप्रिंट स्कैनर। उसी के ऊपर आपको मिलता है वॉल्यूम रॉकर। ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड इज एक्चुअली प्रिटी नीट। बस यहाँ पे टॉप पर आपको दिखता है सिम ट्रे, जिसके लिए बॉक्स में दी गई है सिम इजेक्टर टूल, so use that and insert your SIM, as simple as that. On the bottom you get a 3.5mm headphone jack. Brownie points to Infinix Zero 5G smartphone for this. इसके साथ आपको मिलता है Type-C port and a speaker grill. Top is pretty simple. यहाँ पे इनफैक्ट एक ब्रांडिंग है जिस पे लिखा हुआ है Powered by Infinix. So I really liked how the company has managed to make this smartphone look a little bit more beautiful just by adding colors on the sides. आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे। अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स। ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा। Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. गाइज, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है। जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है। जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा। इनसाइड द बॉक्स यू गेट दिस लिटिल पेपर बॉक्स एज वेल, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है। लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको। यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है। यहाँ पर फोन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल, विच इज वेरी बेसिक। अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस, जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं। उफ, very vibrant and peppy yellow color. Just like the box, the smartphone also boasts the combination of black, or call it dark grey, along with yellow.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching News Now Overnight with me, Priya Behel. First up, top 50 stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese flags off the final test between India and Australia at Modi Stadium in Gujarat. Both Prime Ministers hand over test caps to Indian captain Rohit Sharma and his Australian counterpart Steve Smith. They also took a lap of honour at Narendra Modi Stadium. Fans and supporters enthralled to see their favourite leader. The bonhomie on cricket field fails to impress the opposition. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh says doing lap of honour in stadium named after Modi himself is nothing but self-obsession. Australian Prime Minister gets on board India's first indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Australian Prime Minister given guard of honour. BRS leader K.T. Ramarao slams the BJP after summons issued to Kejriwal-Kavitha, says Enforcement Directorate, Income Tax Department and CBI have all become puppets in the hands of centre. Times Now questions BRS MLC Kavitha as she comes to Delhi for her hunger strike, and ahead of ED summons, KCR's daughter refuses to take questions. The summons that have been issued to Kavitha for day after are in connection with her alleged role in Liqourgate case. After CBI Enforcement Directorate arrests former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia in Liqourgate case. Rajasthan minister's son slams Rahul Gandhi, says don't insult India in other countries. Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh fires big allegation against the BJP, says the party is conspiring to kill Sisodia. Jail administrator responds to AAP's allegations, says Sisodia is in a separate ward along with prisoners with good conduct in the past. Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi took charge as ministers today. Atishi gets education, PWD, power and tourism portfolios. Bharadwaj gets health, water and industries along with urban development. Hunger strike of Pulwama martyrs' widows enters day 11. Protests outside Sachin Pilot's house. Pilot promises to get all their demands fulfilled on priority. Martyrs' widows hit out at Chief Minister Gehlot.